Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I want to tell you all about my show, the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we do a thorough analysis on the biggest issues and trends within the pro wrestling industry. We talk a lot about pro wrestling media, we talk a lot about fan culture and wrestling's place within general pop culture, and we talk about the broader influences that are shaping the way we discuss and analyze the pro wrestling industry. We've had some of the brightest minds in the pro wrestling intelligentsia on the show, including WrestleNomics host Brandon Thurston, both Rich Craich and Joe Lanza from the Flagship Wrestling Podcast, Trevor Dame from the Through the Years podcast, and a whole lot more. This isn't a show for hot takes. It's not a show recapping the latest episode of television. This is a show focusing on the biggest topics in pro wrestling and doing a deep dive on the real stories behind the surface level analysis you might find elsewhere. The Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, and we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a try. Thanks.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
To Wrestling Omakase. It is episode number 253, and this week I am pleased to be joined by a returning guest, Mr. Velkej Braka. Welcome back already, Velkej.
Hello. I am back. I have returned from Japan, and I bring gifts. No, I don't bring gifts because I'm an asshole, and my baggage was too small for any gifts. So I will disappoint my family very much.
Okay, wait a second though. You're really underselling the biggest thing you brought back from Japan. Yes. And I think what everyone listening wants to know: how is Tam Nakano adjusting to farm life?
Okay, so she is dead. She has died in Yokohama Arena.
Look, I read Wikipedia. It said the two of you are married and you're on the farm together. So go ahead and tell me, what's it like? How's she adjusted?
That's fake news. that has been edited into the Wikipedia, and I will find the person who have done that, and I will sue them for slander. Is it slander when it's written? No, that's libel. I will sue them for libel. Yes.
I think. I don't know. Who cares? But Tam and you on making a homestand together. That's so That's so touching. So I hope. It's
Yeah,
going
of
well.
course. Sure.
But yeah, Tam, you saw the end of Tam
Yes.
Nakano at the. I mean, you went to the best wrestling show this year so
Yep.
far. I mean,
Yes.
there's no way. I guess I'm spoiling my pick when we do the mid-year awards in the next episode, but I don't think that's a hot take. I mean, that's
I don't think so. I don't think so
no,
either. Yeah,
the best wrestling show in the year so far.
It did not have for me the best match of this year so far, because the best match of this year so far is the Sakamura and Tam Nakano in the Korakuen Hall, the main event. That's like the best match I've seen the whole year.
Yeah, I like that match better. It's not my match of the year either, but I did like that better than their Yokohama match too, which I think we're in the minority there.
Yeah, it's because partly because it was when I watched it, when she like got beat, like I realized that me personally, I will see her retire in person, which is like, that's mind-blowing that I was able to do that. And she's my biggest up. Basically since 2017, 2018, since she got thrown from Oedo Tai, losing the unit versus unit match in January.
What was it? Director P, the panda? She lost.
Yes. Since she got thrown from Oedo Tai, she was my enemy. And I have seen her retire personally. It's really gratifying. It's actually fucking awesome. I am really happy and really lucky to be able to see that. Like, it's something special for me as a person.
So how long was your trip again? You went, like 2.5 weeks?
No, 22 days.
Oh wow, even longer. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I stayed for 2 years. So
I've been planning my next trip at the end of December for the last little while, and originally I was going to do 12/27 to like 1/6, so like an even shorter trip than I've been doing. But then Stardom announced that they're running Korakuen back to back on January 10th and 11th, and I was like, okay, I have to just stay and go to those two too. Now I'm doing 12/27 to 1/11 because the Sunday Stardom show is 11:30 a.m. So I can go to that and then fly home like 7 p.m. So plenty of time between.
That's you can make that. That's fine.
It's plenty of time. Yeah, I mean the Stardom Korakuen will be like 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
they have to
like a
end,
7:00 flight.
They have to end like before 15:30.
Yeah.
So the other company that's there after them, if there is some other company that's there after them, can set up their stuff.
Because the January 11th is Sunday, and then I can fly home and not miss another day of work. So it'll work out. Because that was, I mean, my girlfriend was a little like, really, you're staying that long again? I thought this was going to be a quick trip, but what am I going to do? They announced a double header. I mean, usually they run Korakuen way later in January, so I was pretty surprised.
They usually run around 20th.
Yeah, so they put up their Korakuen dates, I think, through next March 2026. And I was really surprised when they were running the 10th and the 11th. I was like, okay.
That's actually surprising because that kind of throws a spanner into what we know about the Korakuen lottery, though. Because not just me, but other people have assumed that the Korakuen lottery happens somewhere in September. Because in October, most of the companies, like the smaller indie companies, announced their Korakuen for the next year. So Stardom announcing their Korakuens for until when? Until March?
I think it was March 2026, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so somehow Stardom, which means New Japan, has their dates in June for until at least March next year, which is weird. Because that also can mean that the Korakuen lottery is further ahead for the bigger companies. I don't know.
Well, that would kind of make sense, right? I mean, Bushiroad can pushed away the front of the line. I kind of get it, I guess.
Yeah.
They do the biggest crowds. I mean,
yeah, exactly. And
just them and Noah.
Yeah, and also at the same time, they themselves and the Korakuen, the company that runs Korakuen, respect the other company's dates. Because, for example, they will not allow Stardom to run on the Itenion in Korakuen because that's Tokyo Joshi Pro. date.
Yeah.
Same with the All Japan dates and Noah dates.
Yeah,
even some of basically Ribbon Mania has been for last 10 years, 12 years,
12/31.
on the same date as well. So
I have to go to it this year because I didn't go my last winter trip. I didn't go because it was running up into the All Japan Yoyogi. But I'm just like I just have to do both and miss the start of All Japan Yoyogi because it's like if I don't see Ice Ribbon this year, when am I going to see them?
Yeah. It's I've been at their shows twice, 3 times, I think. Twice. At the Ribbon Mania. Once was the Tequila Saya retirement show, which was awesome because I got to see like the actual insane retirement match, the gauntlet with the 3-minute matches. From different companies. It was like 30 different acts going through the, like, sometimes she had matches, sometimes it was just like comedy bits or stuff. It was superb, like awesome. I've never been able to see anything other like that. So do it. Do Ribbon Mania if you can.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do Ribbon Mania. I mean, I can't wait until they all start announcing their dates and I can really plan it out. I was looking at like last year to try to get an idea. I guess the one that's going to be hard to see. I was talking to Actress Girls isn't going to run. They're not going to run anything.
They are running Korakuen on the 29th.
Oh well. They'll be up against Stardom. You're saying?
Yes. And
well, I'm not gonna. Yeah, obviously, I'm not going to that.
Last year they at least got the noon, the 11:30. So you basically can if you left after the main event ended, you made the whole Sumo Hall show easily.
Okay.
Well, but maybe this time they are running afternoon, so it's 17:30 start time, which basically is after the Stardom show starts. So it's impossible.
Well, I was mentioning Dragon Gate because I was talking to Case and Mike about it. If you look at their schedule over the holidays, they are the one promotion, like pretty much the only one that avoids Tokyo completely.
Yes,
and I guess they're the ones that just go like, okay, well, we're gonna run like they run a lot in Kansai during that period, so it's like they run these shows, and it's like for whatever. I guess first of all for their core fans that don't watch anything else, and then second of all, I guess they run those for like the only wrestling fans in Japan that didn't feel like getting on the bullet train that year, you know. So, which I'm sure is some people still. I mean, they draw somebody, but it's just so everybody else runs that Tokyo in that period because you get, obviously, besides the foreigners, you get tons of Japanese fans coming in from all over to stay for the week to go to like Wrestle Kingdom and all the surrounding shows. So it is interesting to me that Dragon Gate's like the one promotion that's like, okay, we're still just going to run our thing and we're going to like, we're going to be different from everybody else instead of going to try and draw. Because they don't even do like the Xmas. They used to do like a Christmas Korakuen. They don't even do that anymore. It's usually like December 15th now. So like they're really nowhere close to that.
That's the reason. That's the reason why Dragon Gate for me was one of the last companies that I have never seen in Japan, and I've been 3 times.
You've still never seen them?
I've seen them this trip because I was at the Korakuen that had the match of the year level 6-man in the.
Yeah. But yeah, it's hard there. So like when I went 2 years ago, the 2023 and the 24, they actually did run Korakuen pretty quickly after. I remember I got to see them like the 10th or something, I think.
Yeah, they did something really early.
Yeah, and then Mike and Case were telling me they usually don't do that. And last year they don't seem to have. So I'm assuming I probably won't be able to see them. But what are you gonna do? You cannot see everybody, but
it's like the one thing that I will always tell anyone who goes there is that attempt to see as many different venues as you can, because you can always see wrestling in Korakuen.
Yeah.
If you can see wrestling in Budokan, go and see wrestling in Budokan. If you can see wrestling in Sumo Hall, go see wrestling in Sumo Hall, because there's probably, if you go in different time, you will probably lose the chance to see the wrestling in that venue.
Yeah, there's never been a show at Budokan anytime I've gone, because when I went over Christmas 2023 and 2024, that's when Noah did their they ran January 2nd at Ariake.
Yeah,
so I've never seen I've never seen it, and all the G1s I went to were in Sumo Hall.
Yes.
They started running Budokan the year after I went, like 2018, I think was the first one they ran in Budokan.
And they will
And the
not be
G1
running Budokan anytime soon.
Yeah, well, now this year it's Ariake.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm hoping to God Noah is running the Budokan like January 1st again. But I guess we'll see.
I was lucky because I got to see Nakamura versus Great Muta in Budokan. That was awesome, by the way. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And also Jake Lee coming into Noah from after leaving All Japan was very funny.
But yeah, I'm hoping to get, because Budokan's like the last venue I really need to see, basically. Like, well, actually, Oda Ward too. I've never gone to Oda Ward.
Oda Ward, I don't actually want to go there.
You've never been either?
No.
I want to do it once to say I've done it. It's I know it's really pain in the ass to get to.
It's not just pain in the ass to get to, but bring a fucking pillow to sit on.
Oh yeah.
So it's bleachers, unless you have like
true.
Seats.
I probably just get ringside though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Oda Ward, I assume, because again, New Japan the year I went in for Wrestle Kingdom, because I've been to Japan 5 times, only done one Wrestle Kingdom before this year. But the year I went for Wrestle Kingdom 23 to 24, New Japan did not run New Year's Dash at Oda Ward. They ran that weird Machida Gymnasium venue.
Yeah, because Oda Ward was wasn't it closed?
I think it was closed renovations. I think that's probably right. But yeah, so I assume they're going to run Oda Ward this year. This coming or next year, I should say.
Probably.
For New Year's Dash.
Probably.
So I'll get to do Oda Ward. Budokan I've never been to, so hope to God Noah announces January 1st to 2nd at Budokan again. And then all the other ones I've been to, like, Sumo Hall, Shinkiba, Shinjuku Face, Korakuen, obviously. All sorts of other weird ones too. I'm trying to think what the other ones I've been to. I mentioned Machida Gym. I haven't been to that one that Stardom ran last year. I've heard it was really nice. I've been to Ariake. I mentioned that already.
I don't think that's probably going to be a big issue, because unless it's the Taro Okada knowing people there, and they will be willing to host wrestling again, because it's a really new venue. It's been built like in 2022 or something like that, open.
Yeah.
And it's a concert. It's basically theater concert hall, and it's really big. It's like it seats 8,000 people, possibly. It's like a huge venue, and Stardom ran. It was the first wrestling show that ever happened there as well. And I don't know if they are going to run it again, but I assume they were running it because they wanted to put their sponsors and comp tickets there, like for the New Year's. Like use it as basically PR for the people that give them money. Because that show.
I hope they run it again. I hope they run it again because I heard it was a really cool venue. Yeah. But yeah, I mentioned Ariake. I've actually been to both Ariakes, including the one that the Differ that shut down. So that used to be like Noah's home base, and also
Differ Ariake
training. Yeah. So I went to that one in 2017. I want to say maybe 2016. It was one of those two trips. I don't remember which one. But yeah, that's been shut down for a while now, so you can't go to that anymore. Yeah. But yeah, it's just
on this trip, I actually went and visited the place where Hakata Starlines were.
Oh wow.
They are not there anymore. Yeah. It's just some random office building that's been built there. But on the other side of the road is 7-Eleven or Lawson's or something like that, and they have posters for Dragon Gate shows there still. So the spirit lives on. I also walked past across Fukuoka, which is like in the middle of the city. Is like there's like some kind of park. It's like next to the town hall or something like that. It's like actual like heart of the city of Fukuoka. So I walked past there, but there was no show. There was something happening there when I was there, like some exhibition or something like that. There was a long line of people going there. So I was able to at least visit. I did the pilgrimage to Hakata Starlines. So I was
that is really cool. Yeah. I think the most random venue I've seen a show in is I went to I'm trying to remember the name. I think it was called Daito City. It's like one of these suburbs in Osaka. I saw it at like a town hall, like a municipal town hall for Dragon Gate, and I believe that was 2019. So yeah, that's the most random venue I've ever seen a show.
I saw Actors Girls in Kitazawa Town Hall, and Kitazawa is like hipster city now, basically.
Yeah, Kitazawa, yeah.
That's not my thing. Like I randomly, because we are so fucking weird family. My brother was in Japan, and we have never went drinking together, like me and my brother alone, like before, because he's like 20 years younger than me. No, not 20, like 15 years younger than me. And we just met in Japan to go for drink. And he was staying over at his friends he goes to Kitazawa, and he said, "Oh, my friend told me that we should try Kitazawa, but it was like, oh no, this is not for me." And it's even worse for him, because he's a punk guy or hardcore guy or whatever that thing is. What he listens to, I don't know. I don't understand music. So
it could be
it was
post-hardcore.
Yeah, probably. So we were there, but I was there before for the first show of the year for Actress Girls in Kitazawa Town Hall, and without Chris, who lives in Japan, I wouldn't be able to go there, because we had to like fill out some questionnaires at the actual like municipal office.
Wow.
Like the addresses and like stuff like that, and where you heard about that and so on, because they like were filling some cultural, like it was some part of some program, and it was in, I don't know, like conference hall. It was actual conference hall of this town hall where the wrestling show was held. And
yeah,
funnily
that's the same
enough,
thing. That was the same thing where the Dragon Gate one is
yeah,
Osaka.
funnily enough, it will tie to the Marigold show, which we'll be talking about later, the Korakuen, because that's the show where the current Megaton debuted for the first time. And she faced Koki in the main event of the show in a 6-woman. It was, and she was a heel basically before
got
that.
It. So I could do Japanese venue talk forever and travel talk, but
yeah,
we should, before we get you were at and by the way, for people listening, I'm probably going to do some kind of episode on like planning a Japanese wrestling trip, because that's an idea I just had for next month, because I know people are probably going to start planning their trips for Wrestle Kingdom. And
it's time to plan.
Yeah,
Tanahashi's retirement show. If I did not go to this show to when I was in Japan right now, I would also go to the Wrestle Kingdom. But I've been to 3 Wrestle Kingdoms already, so I wanted to do something different.
No, I get it. I mean, I've only been to one, and I want to do it. Obviously, Tanahashi's retirement is a big draw. Honestly, the Stardom Sumo Hall draw is a bigger draw for me, though, than Tanahashi's retirement, just because I'm so much more into Stardom than I am in New Japan right now. But as we're going to talk about. But yeah, before we get into that, why don't you talk a little bit about being there for Naito's last show at Wrestling Dontaku? Because you were telling me off air that was a really unique experience.
Yeah, to preface this, I was at my first trip was 2017 2018 Wrestle Kingdom, so I saw Naito lose in the main event.
I'm so glad I didn't go to that show, because I would have killed myself probably.
Then I saw
I'm barely exaggerating.
I was at the Wrestle Kingdom 2 years later, which I saw Naito win and Kenta run in, which was one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen in pro wrestling. I also was there in 2022, 2023, after the borders opened, to see Shuri lose the title, to see Shuri walk into the Sumo Hall main event with the red belt. And then also on top of it, I saw Nakamura and Great Muta, and I saw Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Which was awesome, by the way, in person. Incredible things. And I saw a lot of different stuff in Japan as well, but I've never been in... I saw retirement shows, I saw debut shows, I saw big shows, I saw small shows, but I've never been at a show that was so desperate as the Naito goodbye show. The crowd, I still get chills. I got goosebumps remembering that. I will never forget the feeling that I had when I was sitting in the crowd, and the whole crowd was chanting for Naito, and it was mixture of sadness and there was no joy in that. It was just like saying goodbye to someone, and it was, as I said, the only word that I can find that properly like describes the feeling that I had while sitting surrounded by people clapping and chanting for Naito is desperation. It was the woman next to me basically spent herself cheering for him, screaming, crying, basically. The chant Naito, Naito to the Starlight Genius, no, Stardust Genius, sorry, to the Stardust Genius, and then she was like sitting next to me, like shaking after she stopped because she was emotionally completely destroyed because she spent everything she had just to cheer for him, like go to the ring. It was, the atmosphere there was indescribable. You actually had to be there. I don't have words to describe it properly. I just want to like attempt to convey how special it felt, how privileged and lucky I am that I was able to be there in person. Like I'm so incredibly lucky that I decided to go for this trip and that I wanted to go to Kyushu, to go to Dontaku, to see the other island, and to get this as like a bonus for me. Like that's, I even like debated myself to go to the last Dragon Gate show in Nagoya, the last cage match they can have there because the venue was closing, and I decided to go to Kyushu to see Dontaku, to see, and after that I learned that Naito was leaving New Japan. It's like,
yeah,
something,
I mean,
like something special. Like
I don't.
the other time that was as special as this was the Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay match in Wrestle Kingdom. Like those are like levels to this. Like that's the other one.
Yeah, I think for I understand it. I'm not trying to fansplain to people, but I think Western fans who have never been to Japan, and especially never been to Japan to see a big Naito match, can't even really comprehend the level of connection between Naito fans and Naito. I mean, they've talked about it before. I remember, but this one I wasn't there for, but I remember them talking about it on the air, the English announcers. Do you remember when Naito was facing Zack Sabre Jr. in the G1 in 2018, and Zack beat him, and everybody expected, all the Naito fans clearly expected Naito to win the block and go to the final, and Zack just beats him clean with the Zack driver instead. People fucking got up out of their seats and stormed out of that building so fucking angry. And it's like, it sounds insane that wrestling fans would still care about a wrestling match result to that degree that they actually get up and fucking storm out, and pissed off about it. But that's the level of connection that this guy has with his fans. He's, in a lot of ways, he's the last wrestler that gets people to feel that intensely, or that many people to feel that intensely, because there is no fucking match result in AEW that's going to cause half the fucking crowd to get up and storm out. I mean, it's just not happening. People will be mad if Jon Moxley beats, Hangman Page at All In, but like they're not going to fucking do a mass walk out of the arena, of the stadium, if Jon Moxley wins that match. It's just American wrestling fans do not have that level of connection, even to the guy who they probably have more of a connection to than anybody at this point. It's just not how American wrestling fans feel about wrestling anymore. It's just we don't have that kind of connection. And people, when I was there when Naito won the title in 2016, my very first trip to Japan, and he beat Okada, people were fucking crying. I mean, there were a lot of people in that building who were fans of his even when he was still starred as Genius Naito, which people will tell you was such a huge failure, which is a load of crap anyway. But there were people who were clearly fans of his for years, finally seeing him break through and win this title after he went, after he formed LIJ. And they were fucking crying in that building. I mean, there were actual tears shed in that building. And that, again, there is nobody who's going to win a title in American wrestling that's going to make people cry like that. It's just not going to happen. So
I will never ever forget the in relations to this when Naito won in 2020 and Kenta ran in and sat on him. When we were leaving the Tokyo Dome, like the press of the people leaving Tokyo Dome, we were like going to the bridge to the Sudobashi station, and there were some posters, and I was standing next to like few guys, probably in their early 30s or something like that, and one of them started punching Kenta face on the poster because he was so angry because he saw Kenta and started punching him in like the poster. That's an anecdote, but like I have, as I said, like, and I am not a Naito fan. You know that. I'm more of Okada fan. Me watching Okada in 2018 was incredible. That felt really good for me. Sorry about that, John, but it felt.
I'm glad someone was happy.
Yeah, exactly. I was really happy about that, by the way, because my guy won. Luckily, because I was convinced that my guy will not win, but he did, and then he kept on winning. That was really good. That felt incredible, by the way. Love when my guys win. I kind of do the same thing as you do with some of your wrestlers. I do have the connection with some of my wrestlers. I don't have as much connection with the wrestlers as the Japanese fans because I don't see them as often. So when I see them, I do have the emotional connection, but not as deep as you described, because I don't see them as often. But I see that the directions people have for their guy winning. At the Yokohama Arena, when Shuri beat Mayu Iwatani, on the floor in front of me, I was sitting like in the cheaper seats because I don't like floor seats, and I don't have money to buy the front rows. So I buy like the risers if I can, and as close as as close to the ring as I can. But usually cannot choose by myself because it's Japanese system, so you cannot choose your seat. You just find out whatever seat you are assigned to. But in front of me on the floor, there was like row of chairs that was obvious Shuri defenders. They fucking jumped up when Shuri beat Mayu Iwatani. They jumped up like to their feet and like fist pumping and like almost started hugging each other, but then like quickly then sat down because they realized they have just jumped up and the people behind them cannot see. So that was really like, that felt like a genuine reaction of fans of their wrestler beating someone they did not assume that they will beat, and like celebrating the win. And it's like, I don't know, like I see, because I don't watch American TV wrestling, I see like people celebrating winning of the wrestler, but I think the investment in the show is different, because for the American wrestling fan, it's more you're a part of the show instead of you are there to cheer for your guys, which is what I think the Japanese fan base does.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's we already spent a half hour on this stuff, so we should probably get to the topics. But yeah, it's always fun hearing from people when they first get back from Japan, because you've been back for a while, but
fully recommend going. Like, if you do not do like the Wrestle Kingdom, do random house shows of random companies out in the boonies, because I had a good fun with Stardom show in Fukuoka, which was the last Maika show before she goes on.
You're at that show. Yeah,
that was fun. The only issue that I had was that it's just floor seats, so the venue is bad for that. So
I did a random New Japan house show in Shizuoka on my trip in April.
Yeah,
which was also cool, but it was the same. It was the same thing though, just floor sheets.
It's like the venues are not great for that. So
in Hamamatsu actually,
yeah.
In
so if there's someone who is tall in front of you, you see nothing.
Yeah.
So I had to
I was like second or third row though, so I was all right.
I had to move my head to the left if they were on the left side of the rink, and to the right if they were on the right side of the rink, because there was a guy with big head in front of me. So that was kind of annoying, but it was really good. Last part before we go on to talk about New Japan. A lot of people described Sayaka Mitani's entrance at the Yokohama Arena as great. You do not know how fucking great it was in the venue. The relatively tight shot that they showed on the stream did it disservice. Trust me. Seeing it as like the complete darkness in the venue, and then the stage explodes in fire and she's there standing in the middle of it like a silhouette, was fucking incredible. That was as I said, I saw the Okada entrances, I saw Great Muta entrance, I saw Nakamura, I saw fucking Nakamura and Budokan, I saw Ospreay, I saw Ibushi, I saw Kenny, I saw Jericho entrance to the Tokyo. I saw Mercedes Moné entrance to the Tokyo Dome. This fucking entrance, the Sayaka Mitani entrance, was the best entrance that I've ever seen. Like, nobody compares. Nobody.
Yeah. It was great even on TV, but I'm sure it was even better on person.
Because on the TV you saw mostly her, and that somewhere in the background there's fire, but it was the whole stage that like lit up on fire at once. So the pyrotechnics were like, it's incredible. And the last part I teared up when I realized that I am hearing Meiko Satomura's theme song for the last time ever when she was entering. Like, it did not click in my brain that this is her second to last match ever that she's going to have. And
you didn't go to the retirement show.
Yeah, because the retirement show was like 2 days later.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, so I'm lucky because I get to see her for the last time.
I felt the exact same way when I went in April, because it was like I saw her at Sendai. Sendai Girls ran a Shinjuku Face show, and then Wave ran a Shinjuku Face show, and she was on both of those. And I was like, oh, thank God I get to see her 2 more times before she retires, because that was great. I saw her wrestle Shin Sakura Hirota at the Wave show, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that was so fucking funny. She lost like 4 times to her.
Yeah, two guy wrestlers facing each other for the last time. That was
so great. I loved it. I loved that. That was so great. And then obviously the match with Minoru Suzuki too at Sunday Girls was awesome. Yeah. Apparently it did. I don't think it was as good on stream, but like being there, because I heard from people who watched it, at home, they didn't like it as much. But being there in person was so awesome, because the crowd was so behind Meiko, like ridiculously behind Meiko. And like Gabe Kidd was there, along with like Drilla Maloney and Hartley Jackson. And like Gabe was like very audibly cheering for Meiko the entire time. So you'd hear him randomly go in his accent, like, come on, Meiko. I can't do anything with his accent, but he just kept saying like, you kick his ass, Meiko. Like he kept saying that over and over. It was so great. So
seeing random wrestlers at random shows is also fun.
Well, they were so cool. Gabe talked to me a little bit, because he had recognized me because I was in I was at the Hamamatsu house show, like I said. Yeah. And I was in that T-shirt. I was wearing a War Dogs T-shirt for that, and he had like shouted me out. He's like, because first of all, who expects to see a random white person in the house show at Hamamatsu? So he like sees me and does like this double take, and he just goes, "Oh yeah, nice shirt." And then, so I wasn't going to bother him unless he said anything to me, because I just didn't want to be that person. But as I'm walking past him, because they were like I had like second row, and they were standing off like in general admission, like that little standing area that's in Shinjuku Face with the little ledges. So I walked past him to go to the bathroom, and he spots me, and he's like, "Oh, you're that, you were I think he said like you were the one with the Water Dog shirt in Hamamatsu." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, I don't even remember what the fuck he said, but he was like, and I was just like, I can't wait to see you guys kick House of Torture's ass at Sakura Genesis. And he was like, yeah, hell yeah, brother. And he was like, fist bump. But yeah, he was really cool. He was really nice too.
I'll never understand people who like border wrestlers outside.
Oh yeah, I was never going to say anything unless he said something to me, because I did not
exactly.
I did not want to be that person, but he did. No, he said something to me first, and I was like,
at the Dragon Gate show, I saw like 6 different joshi wrestlers. So funny.
They love going to Dragon Gate.
Yeah. That was really that was like I expected that, but it still surprised me. And that was like the
who do you remember who it was? Was like Starlight Kid there?
No, she was not there. It was some Actors Girls show. Actors Girls. It's like
because they were talking, because Jay was talking about that of the Dragon Gate Korakuen, that like because obviously Starlight Kid was in Desperado's corner, Desperado and Dragon Kid's corner for that match, and he was talking about how her, Azumi, I can't remember who else he said. Like there was Momo, I think. He said all 3 of them would always go to Dragon Gate Korakuen every month.
There's Breaking Kayfabe picture when Susumu sits down in the orange seats at one of the shows, and there's Saya Ida sitting next to Azumi. And for example, Gochika, when she was like, the Actors Girls were always going together, and Gochika was like the one who started the trend. So Marigold's Gochika. And like the others from there as well. And outside of them, you can see like other wrestlers like going to especially the Dragon Gate show, the women. Yeah, like that's they love. Like I don't think people actually understand how like the percentage wise it works, because for example, I think there were more women in DDT Shinjuku Face show that I was at, the King of DDT show, than men.
Yeah. Well, women love wrestling in Japan. It's completely normal, which is like it's so cool compared to America.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Western discourse usually is why there are not enough women at the women's show. Yeah, there are enough women at the men's show, because it kind of works like that. It's hard to do the other way around.
My girlfriend was surprised too when we went to Stardom, and she was like, "It's all men."
Yes.
And I was like, well, that's just how it is here. I mean, I will say, when I went to Sendai Girls, there were more women.
It's the idol part of the thing.
The idol, okay, so we put it off for 40 minutes. We should probably talk about.
I know. I did not want to.
I will say, if you love the Japan travel talk, like I said, I'm going to try to put an episode together. I don't know if I'll do it as a solo or if I'll do it with somebody, but yeah, July probably is what I'm aiming for. Because we already have a next episode planned, but maybe the episode after that we'll do like a Japan travel omakase. Because I get people always come to me for advice on this, which I get because again I've been there 5 times.
Yeah, but you'll be able to point them out to a piece of audio that you've actually make.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the idea. And I do like anime con panels on this too, stuff. So I have a lot of research done and stuff. But yeah, we'll see about that. I actually pitched before I started doing omakase again. I pitched Rich on the idea to do it for the flagship Patreon, and he didn't seem to really want to do it, so we didn't end up doing it. But he was kind of like, "Well, I had nothing to talk about for that because I'd never been." And I was like, "That's a good point." Yeah, but hopefully people will get some value out of that. But I'll open it up to questions for it. I don't normally do that often on Omakase, and see if people have questions about how to go there. But yeah, I could talk endlessly about Japan travel. So I got like So I booked a hotel. This is like my big win of the week. I booked a hotel because my girlfriend Nicole's not coming with me on this trip. I'm going solo. I mean, obviously, I know a shit ton of people who are going to be there, and me and Paul Vosch are actually going to room together when we leave Tokyo after January 6th. We're going to room together outside of Tokyo, but in Tokyo, I'm going to room by myself. And I booked a solo room in Ikebukuro at this like little business hotel. From the 27th to the 6th, so like 10 nights there. Okay. And originally I booked it for like, I think it was a little under $1,200, which for that time of year, I mean, to get a real hotel room with your own bathroom and everything, even though it's a small solo room, for like $120 a night with taxes and everything, that's pretty good, But then I checked the booking.com again, and I've managed to see a random price drop, and I saved like $150. So I'm thrilled about that. Like I rebooked the same exact dates,
that's
same
really
exact
good.
room. Yeah, same exact room, same exact dates for like $1,050 based on the current exchange rate. So
I always want to do the Iidabashi or Shidobashi Appa hotels because it's like literally 10 minutes walk from Korakuen.
I get it. Those are really expensive though when I was looking. They're
Yes,
I guess because of Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah.
No, not
they were like
Wrestle Kingdom, because there are a lot of other things happening in Tokyo.
The concerts and stuff. Yeah,
yes, exactly. So
but
they are
like,
really expensive through the New Year's. But you can book them after when you book them from the 3rd, you can book them like relatively more cheap.
But yeah, so I wanted to stay in one place though because I moved around a lot my last trip.
It's better.
Yeah,
it's less annoying.
And Ikebukuro, it's like it's not that far on the train. Like the train, like basically like a 5-minute walk to the train station, and then from Ikebukuro to Suidobashi, I think is like there's like a no. There's a subway line there that goes to the Korakuen subway that's on the other side of Tokyo.
Okay,
yeah. So that's like only I think 15 minutes or something. It's pretty quick, and then it's also pretty quick to Ryogoku. It's pretty. It's
because
really
there's
quick
the
to
same.
Shinjuku.
There's the same subway line.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick to all that stuff. And then I'm sure you've been to Ikebukuro, but I love that neighborhood because it's like it has like the has like the anime stores and everything, like, but it's not like nearly as touristy as Akihabara is.
Akihabara is awful. I hate it.
Yeah. It feels way because Akihabara is like Times Square now. If people haven't been there, like it's very famous, but like it's just filled with nothing but foreign tourists now, and it's very it's very like everything's very overpriced too. Like, do not do if you're like an anime fan, do not do your shopping at Akiba. You will pay a huge Akiba tax. You should go to Ikebukuro, go to Nakano Broadway. Especially if you can go outside of Tokyo, you'll find even cheaper prices. Like if you go to like even Osaka, Kobe, this anime store I went to in Shizuoka had like the cheapest prices I've ever seen. So definitely go. But yeah, even in Tokyo itself, Nakano Broadway and Ikebukuro, which are both like also like otaku districts, they'll have way cheaper stuff than Akiba.
The only shopping that I did in Akihabara ever are like buying older issues of manga. Like in one of those, like the bookstores with the where there are always people standing in the tiny little rows between the in the spaces between the whatever bookcases. So I went there and like spent like I think like 2 hours there, like in different like in between different mangas, and just like picking manga from the bookcase and like rummaging through the manga and returning it back. It was like interesting experience, and that's the only shopping that I've ever did in Akihabara, because I'm not a figure guy. I'm not a games.
I am a figure person. I bought so many figures on my last trip. Not like expensive ones, but a lot of like smaller.
I'm really, really happy that the only thing that I actually want to physically buy are books. So basically I bought only manga from there, and I don't really need. I wanted to buy on this trip. I wanted to buy the books, like wrestle books. I wanted to buy Mayu Iwatani, Tam Nakano, and Julia's books. But
I have a ton of figures now, and I have a ton of I love those little acrylic stands. They make,
I hate the little acrylic stand. I will never buy one.
I have so many acrylic stands. I have so many keychains. I actually got a keychain, this acrylic keychain of Natsupoi, and that was actually in Akiba. Actually, that store that Great Okan always advertises, G Store. They had like a huge Stardom section, so I bought like I found like the Natsupoi acrylic stand, a acrylic keychain, and then like a whole bunch of autographs that I bought there. So
yeah, I went to Todokan, the bookstore or whatever that is, the wrestling store. It was a nice walk there, like 45 minutes or something like that walking. Really nice walking through different neighborhoods than I was before, so it was interesting for me to find different things. But unluckily, they did not have the books that I wanted to buy, so I only bought the Julia autobiography, the thing that she wrote or ghostwritten or whatever they do with that. So I will be slowly going through that, auto-translating all the things. Because, yes, I do not speak Japanese. I have no knowledge of Japanese. I know
I
three
have a
things.
little. I got a little bit, but
No,
not as much.
I
Not as much as some people. I would, not as much
no,
as I should for how much I've studied. But
I
always say
got
like third grade level Japanese.
I got by saying thank you, I am sorry, and please can you notice me? Sumimasen, and that's all.
Yeah,
Like,
I do okay. You know what I've noticed too? They are much more willing to use Google Translate now.
yes,
They was when I first went to Japan, none of them used it. So
yeah,
it was much more like I would stumble in Japanese, and they would like if they knew English, great. If not, they would just not talk to me. Now, if like first of all, my Japanese is way better than it was even in 2016. But once we hit a wall where I can't understand what they're saying in Japanese, which wakarimasen, great word to know to tell them that you're not understanding them
yes.
anymore. Once we hit that wall where I can't understand what they're saying in Japanese, they will just pull out their phone and like instantly Google Translate now. And I guess it's because there's just so many foreigners there now.
Yeah, much more
that
foreigners.
they have to do that kind of thing. Yeah.
The
But 2016, 2017, even 2019, they never did that shit.
yeah,
Now the last 2 trips they do that all the time.
the Golden Week in Fukuoka, I've heard more Chinese and Korean than I've heard Japanese.
Yeah, there's so many tourists there now.
Because it's in Fukuoka, it's like hour and a half from Seoul and 4 hours from Shanghai. It's like extended weekend trip. Like, why not go to Fukuoka for like festivals and shit? Like,
and there's so many Chinese people even in like Tokyo and stuff too now. But yeah, they Fukuoka. Yeah, you're right. That's so close to China and South Korea,
and it has international airport. So
yeah. Okay, we really have to get to Dominion eventually. We're putting it off for so long, talking about things that bring us actual joy.
It's really
but yeah,
bad.
the Ike. But yeah, what was I saying about Ike Brookwood? Oh yeah, the hotel I booked, they saved $150 on. So now I'm only paying like $105 a night, which for me for that over New Year's, that is incredible price.
That's really good
with tax and everything included. And I'm like a 2-minute walk from a round 1, so I can go in there and play all the rhythm games that I love. Like that round 1's open 24 hours, so go there and play all these rhythm arcade games that I love at the end of shows and stuff. And I'm like, I have a Tori Kizoku like right near me too, which that's pretty much
awesome.
I have a Toriki, I have a round 1, and I have the train right to Korakuen. So yeah, I'm really happy with that location.
That's really good. That's really good.
I did book the Tokyo Dome Hotel on the 10th. Yeah. Because then basically when we're going to get back from Osaka on the 10th, the first start in Korakuen is like at 6:30. So I'll figure I'll check into the Tokyo Dome Hotel. I'll walk right to the Korakuen. And then the next morning I'll wake up for the 11:30 in Korakuen. And I'll check out, let them check my bags, and go to the Korakuen and come back and get my bags and go home. So I figured that'll be perfect. And it wasn't, obviously it would have been really expensive to book it over the holidays, but it wasn't that expensive on the 10th. I think it was like 120 or 130 or something USD. So yeah, not that expensive to book a single room at that Tokyo Dome Hotel. So I'm pretty happy with that. Have you ever stayed there? It's pretty nice.
No, because I was staying there over the holidays, so it was.
Yeah. It's super expensive then.
Yeah, it's like. But I don't know the dollar amounts, but for the amount that I've paid in like the Upper Hotel, I paid like 10,000 crowns, and I would have to pay like 60,000 crowns for the same. Super. Yeah, like 5 or 6 times that much. So that's like no go for me.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's
no way. I can't.
It's like a 4-star hotel, so it's pretty nice. So
and especially around the holidays, as I said, it's in Tokyo Dome. There's so many things happening. So
yeah,
it's.
But really expensive. I stayed there in 2019, I want to say, because we had a bunch of Korakuen shows basically. So I just figured, because obviously. People, I always forget people might not know this. Korakuen Hall and Tokyo Dome are like right next to each other.
Yes, so, like literally 3-minute walk from between.
So Tokyo,
like you exit Tokyo Dome Hotel and you are at the Korakuen Hall.
Yeah, so that's why I'm staying there for the Korakuens. Have you ever been to that? I keep thinking about going to this maybe because I figured it'd be great within the trip. There's like this giant like hot spring place spa right there, La Croix, I think it's called. It's like right by the Tokyo.
Is that there are hot springs there?
Yeah, it's like real hot springs. It's like art. I mean, they dug underground to get to it. It's like I guess they call it artificial, but they dug underground. Yeah.
I thought that's just like some kind of like entertainment park, like some because
no,
there's
it's like a hot spring. They call it like a hot spring resort or something.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
weird.
like yeah, you only have to
just
pay like
ate
$20 to get in.
Like I just walked it's kind of a mall. It looks like a kind of an open space mall with like things happening in there. I never thought, but it makes sense because it's like I never realized that it's because it's water. Okay, that makes sense.
I've never been there, but I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it. I think on this trip.
There's a roller coaster. You can ride the roller coaster.
Yeah. There's a roller coaster. That's true. But yeah, I'm going to be staying right there. I figured maybe it'll be cool for the end of the trip to go use.
And there's hub also.
Yeah, it's only like $30 to use the hot spring, even like late night, which is like it's pretty cheap. But
that's weird.
Yeah, the hub. If you want to pick up a Japanese one.
Yes. If you want to be a white person, go there to pick up some.
If you want a
Japanese person,
some 45-year-old Japanese woman who always wanted to sleep with a foreigner. Yeah, I can't do that. I'm well spoken for. But if anyone listening wants to pick up a Japanese cougar, that's apparently the place.
When I was there were no Japanese women hunting white people. Sadly.
There you go. Sad.
I met what's the name of the pizza wrestler guy?
Sorry.
There's a indie guy, American guy, who makes pizza. He was there in the hub.
Yeah.
On one of my trips, because he was there for Bleed.
Okay, trying to do the same thing. Yeah. Trying to do the same thing, probably. That Bleed, or isn't it great?
It's great. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
But I say Bleed because I despise them.
They're one of the ones I want to see on this trip too, because I kind of feel like if I don't see them on this trip, I'm never going to see them because they're going to close eventually.
They're probably going to sell to WWE very soon.
Yeah. So great. Like my big goals are great ice ribbon. I'd love to see actress goals, even though you say it's not. They're not going to run any of their shows. You don't think?
They will be probably running the first show of the year, but that's possibly Shinkiba or some random venue in Tokyo area.
Yeah, so I'd like to see them, and I'd really like to see Just Tap Out, but I'd have to go all the way to Chiba for that probably. But
yeah, probably.
So I really want to see.
They ran Shinjuku Face early in the year this year.
Oh, okay. So maybe
Sondre, my co-host from my podcast about Actors Girls, was there, and Aoi bled as a stuck pick. So
Aoi apparently is also doing working at some bar where you could like meet indie wrestlers.
Probably.
Probably. I'm gonna
lot of wrestlers work at bars. Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down. I forget what it's called. I remember I looked it up the other day, and it was apparently just renamed. But I would love to have the chance to meet Aoi. She's so cool. Okay. We really have to talk about Dominion this time.
Let's do the Dominion talk.
Let's fucking get it over with and bury it. Look. This show, when I invited you actually came to me about wanting to do this podcast, to do the conversion preview, and then I was like, okay, well that's the same time as Dominion, so do you want to talk about Dominion too? I'm so sorry, dude, because it's like, what? Now you're stuck having to review this horrible fucking show. I'm not gonna we already just went 55 minutes on nothing, so I'm gonna try not to go too long on Dominion. I mean, I feel like. The issues with it are very obvious. Look, I've been a House of Torture defender in the past.
I also was House of Torture defender in the past because they are fun mid-card act.
I've enjoyed the House as a mid-card heel comedy act.
Exactly.
When it takes all five, when it used to take 4 or 5 of them all armed with weapons to beat Tomoaki Honma, that was funny. I enjoyed it. Okay, that was enjoyable. They are possibly the dumbest possible choice to turn into a super heel army in wrestling history because they have no credibility at all.
No.
They have no legitimate threat at all.
No.
All they do, and a lot of people, Japanese and especially Western, automatically groan when they come up. So why you would take this unit and turn them into a 10-person heel army that makes up half the card instead of just starting a new heel unit, I really have no idea. It's a fucking terrible idea. It's one of Gato's worst ideas as Booker. And keep in mind, I've always said Gato is overrated as a Booker. I have never been Gato is a great all-time booker person. I've always said he does stupid things and he makes stupid decisions, much like that 2018 decision we fucking talked about earlier. He makes very stupid decisions sometimes, and I feel like he, if anything, is hurting his own legacy with people, and really with this last run where he is completely out of ideas. His only idea is let's turn somebody and put them in House of Torture seemingly anymore. It's just, this is really, really bad. I mean, he's torpedoing whatever legacy he did have as a booker. He should fucking step down at this point. He's a horrible booker. And he's really become a really horrible booker at this point. New Japan has no direction. They make baffling decisions constantly. I mean, we're going to talk about the fucking G1 and some baffling fucking decisions there. They have there's no passion, there's no drive, there's no excitement, there's no intent, there's nothing here to get you excited about New Japan Pro Wrestling in 2025. And they had a good start to the year. January through about March, even Sakura Genesis I liked, which some people didn't like. I thought they had a good start to the year. Ever since then, the Dontaku tour, they did nothing. It was really just the Naito goodbye tour. They did not capitalize on that at all with anything exciting to try to convince people who are maybe tuning in for the Naito goodbye tour to keep watching. Best of Super Juniors was a very mid-tournament. The joke on the Super J-Cast Discord has been that it was booked by ChatGPT because, it really does feel like it was booked by an AI. I mean, there's nothing interesting with it at all. It was just a bunch of stuff happened and some wrestlers moved on and then Fujita won. A deeply mediocre tournament. And then fucking Dominion. That Dominion show, I'm struggling to think of a worse major New Japan show. I don't mean like a B show. I don't mean, a New Beginning in Sapporo. I don't mean Destruction in fucking Beppu. I'm not gonna rip off Joe Lance's gimmick of calling it the wrong name.
Isn't it a tradition that is Beppu?
He calls it Beppu. It's
I know.
But no, it's not talking about Destruction. I'm not just talking about Destruction in Beppu. I'm talking about actual big shows. What is the worst big New Japan show? I can't think of one. I mean, look, even maybe Clap Crowd era, there's some stuff, but actual and I know some people really hated King of Pro Wrestling 2023, which I don't think that show was that bad. It was not good, but it was not that bad.
Jay White thing?
No. King of Pro Wrestling 2023 was Sonata Evil.
I hated that. That's true. I hated that.
I thought that was fine. I thought the show was fine. I didn't really hate that show anywhere near as much as this one.
Yeah, the thing was because it meant that the guy that I was invested in, Sonata, I thought that he stepped up at the start of his reign, really did not step up at all. And he's worse than I assumed he is able to. That broke my heart. That's why I hated the show so much.
But even that show had a shockingly good Finlay and Tamatanga match, and I don't know,
that was good. That's true.
It didn't have any I don't know, it didn't have the sense of despair the show brought me as a New Japan fan. This show was where I'm just okay, I feel so out on New Japan, I don't even want to watch the G1, and that was added to it when we get to the G1 announcements, which were so bad.
The thing is, it's it was one thing after another.
Exactly.
And it was never ending. And it was okay, so the bad thing happened, then something relatively good happened. And then another bad thing happened, and then something relatively good happened. And then another bad thing happened. And the
it killed the live crowd.
Was one of the worst things that I've ever seen in New Japan ring ever. Because Doki's return.
Well, we'll get to that. I want to get to that. We'll get to that. What I want to say, though, is the Doki thing and all the house stuff in general killed the fucking live crowd.
Yes.
Which hurt the matches later in the show that should have had great heat. They had to really work to get the crowd to make any noise. And I've heard people who were in the building tell me this. I'm not even just basing it on TV. Someone I know who was in the building was telling me on Twitter that the moment the Doki turn happened, it ripped the hearts out of that crowd. And, and I feel like you could hear that on TV.
Yes.
So, but just to have that confirmed by someone who was there. But let's get into the show here. Let's go match by match, and I'll try to be quick with some of these because some of these I really don't want to talk about that much. First of all, the attendance was down. The attendance was 6,525.
Expected.
That was expected drop. I mean, the tickets were not selling when I kept looking on Lawson. I mean, they just never seemed to really pick up. The pace picked up a little bit, but not that much. Last year was 7,254. So you're talking about a more than 700 fan drop. Of course, last year that was the year they did the Best of Super Junior final with Despy and Ishimori as the main event, and they did Evil challenging Moxley for the title as the semi-main. 2023, Sonata and Tsuji as the main. That was 7,040, so that was bigger than this one too. 2022, Okada and Jay White. You're still talking pandemic there. That was 6,068, so that was the lowest one. And to give you an idea what the before times used to be like, what they should be trying to get back to, which they're nowhere near, 2019, which was the Dominion I went to, Okada Jericho main event, which not a very good main event, by the way, but the incredibly sick Naito Ibushi semi-main, 11,901.
Yes.
Almost 12,000 fans.
And
so
look at the show before that. That's 2018. That's also 11,000 people.
Yeah.
And
so
the show before that as well.
Yeah. They're nowhere near that. Near that. So and not only are they nowhere near that, now we're going in the wrong direction. I mean, we're going backwards from 7,254. And, a lot of that, I think, has to do with Naito. I mean, he's super popular, especially in Osaka. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the decline is on the not having Naito anymore. But, they're going backwards. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. The attendance here.
But also the issue is that it also means that Goto and Shingo are less of a draw than Ishimori and Desperado.
Yeah, I mean, it's some of that. Desperado's a bigger draw than people even realize, I think.
Yeah, I don't think people understand and get that, how Desperado is actually the most popular junior star in Japan right now.
Yeah. But I do think a lot of the decline is Naito leaving.
Yeah.
So I think when you look at that Goto run, I mean, people are giving the Goto run a lot of credit. It has, the crowds have held up or improved on last year until now. But I think taking a big star, the biggest star in the company, no matter what people thought about it, away, having Naito under Goto, I think helped him a lot. And you take Naito away, and that's you can see the result here. So, and exactly. I think this main event probably was going to be Goto Naito originally. That's what I think.
Possible.
Yeah.
The thing is that Goto has similar case as last year Maika had in Stardom, because I'm a Stardom guy, who is a stable person who will be on top, who will deliver good matches, whatever happens underneath her or underneath him in case of Goto. So he's a guy who will have good matches or great matches even in the main events, and you have to somehow realize stuff underneath to build for the next year, because you have a stopgap. Maika or Goto are a stopgap. A really popular champion, but not really actually world champion, if you think about it really hard, because they would not be champions if some people had not left.
Yeah.
They are attrition champions, still very popular and people want to see them, but if the people who were above them had not left, they would not be champions. Case for Goto, case for Maika, they are really similar in this.
Yeah. And obviously now you have, I don't know if we'll see if Maika ever gets back to that point now that Saya is
I think she will be Red Belt challenger forever and ever. Yeah. She has been Red Belt challenger since she came.
But will she win the belt again is what I mean, though.
Yeah. I don't know. It's difficult to say. She's 28 or something like that. So
yeah, she's still pretty young. And
she still has a chance to be a Red Belt champion when she's 35 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah. The dark match, which we don't really have to talk about, was Katsuya Murashima and Shoma Katao beating Daiki Nagai and Masutaro Yasuda. Murashima submitted Yasuda in 15 with the Boston Crab. What do you do? Let's get to the opener, the real opener, which was Sonata, Ren Narita, Yujiro Takahashi, and the dreaded X, who turned out to be Don Fale. Yes, he's no longer Bad Luck Fale. He's now Don Fale. They defeated Drilla Maloney, Clark Connors, Chase Owens, and Taiji Ishimori in 6'44". Sonata pinned Drilla Maloney with the guitar strike Yeah, Corey, I just love that. That's the actual finish on the website. Guitar strike. First thing we gotta talk about is Sonata. God bless the man. He is at least trying to bring some joy to these New Japan shows with his outfits, and he was wearing fucking like a variation of the Giant Gonzalez bodysuit. When he walked out, that I was like fucking crying with laughter. Like that was so fucking funny. So God bless him.
It's like I saw his shiny suit in Dontaku in person, and it was incredible. This was also incredible because John Gonzalez with shiny thong, with glasses with dollar signs on them, a cigar, a giant thick cigar in his mouth, and a guitar over his shoulder. It was.
He's still in the red boots, right? I think.
No, the red boots came after. Okay. He came with the red boots for the lumberjack thingy.
Okay, yeah. The not lumberjack.
Yeah, not lumberjack match. That was actual lumberjack. Yes.
But yeah, so X here is Bad Luck Fale. I was forward on this. A couple people told me at a time that this was going to be the case, and I was like, when I heard this, I was like, I have to stay up for this. It would be so great. And yep, it did happen. It was indeed fucking Bad Luck Fale. Why the fuck you would type up an X and have it be Bad Luck Fale, I have no idea. But that's what they did. They had Bad Luck Fale come out here. He looked fatter than ever, I will say. He's I've been losing weight, and apparently I've been giving it to Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah, you are sending it over to New Zealand.
I'm sending it to New Zealand. Because, yeah, I'm... not to brag too much, but I'm down almost 50 pounds since January. So
yeah, he's probably up 50 pounds.
He's probably up 50 pounds. So I've been giving my weight to him apparently. But yeah, so he's Don Fale. He's I don't even know how to describe what the fuck he was wearing here. Like a fucking was like a beige like fucking jumpsuit or whatever. I don't know what this was. It looked like prison wear.
It was some kind of like military light suit or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, it looked so bad. But yeah, he has this like white beard. He looked awful. And then of course because Chase Owens is selling this like, oh, I can't believe this. How could he do this to me? And then he just turns on them anyway.
Making faces, and then he turns on the other guys and joins Bullet Club. Joins House of Torture again. So we had Sonata in an insane outfit. Nothing happened in the match. Match basically reverting what they did in Dontaku, which was interesting, and using the two useless foreigners to eat slots in a giant faction that's getting bigger and bigger with every passing day, who should not have been paid anymore by this fucking company, because this fucking company is too fucking loyal to a fucking fault, which is not understandable. They do not need Bad Luck Fale. Or I'm sorry, Don Fale. They do not need Don Fale. They do not need Chase Owens. Nobody needs either of these guys. No.
Yeah, putting two of the worst wrestlers
almost
on the
fired Nagata.
Yeah.
They have lost Naito because they are unable to pay him for his dates that he wants. They have lost Bushi because of the same case. They have lost DJP, who is much better wrestler than either of these guys. But no, we are going to have Bad Luck Fale. Oh, I'm sorry, Don Fale and Chase Owens. Fuck this. That's all. Fuck this.
Yeah. But yeah, so Chase turned on the War Dogs and he joined the house.
Yeah, and he's now Lone Star Outlaw with cringe, cringe cowboy.
So sure. they just joined the house. Why not? Absolutely horrible match.
Yes,
a mostly dead crowd. On top of that, the crowd did not give two fucks about any of this. Half a star for this match. The match was complete fucking dog shit. Match number 2, Zack Sabre Jr. and Ryohei Oiwa defeat ELP and Shota Umino. ZSJ pins Shota Umino in 11:23 with the European clutch. You know what's really fucking funny? I wrote the preview for this show, or me and Jay Michael for Voices of Wrestling. Somehow, when writing the preview for this tag, I completely forgot this was a rematch of the two Wrestle Kingdom main eventers, which should tell you just how fucking irrelevant Zack and Umino are at this point, that I completely forgot they were in the fucking Wrestle Kingdom main event against each other. But here they are, match 2 in a tag match. Yeah, that's how far they fucking
at one of the worst dominance of the recent memory, or rather, worst dominance of the recent memory.
Shota Umino, I'm running out of ways to describe how little passion and how little fire he seems to show. He looked like he was here under the threat of sniper fire.
Yes.
He looked like he had a fucking sniper in the rafters pointed with a fucking gun pointed at him, telling him, if you don't fucking walk out there and wrestle, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Because he did not look like he wanted to be there. He looked like he was fucking nervous to be there. He looked fucking awful. I mean, Shota Umino was, the match was good by the end. They did some nice little wrestling, especially Zach and ELP. But Shota Umino, he could not show less fucking fire and less fucking passion if he tried. I mean, just completely devoid of any passion. I don't know what to say about this guy anymore. And I've talked about it a million times. There are horrible wrestlers in Marigold who show more fucking fire than Shota Umino does, which is really fucking funny. Like, why the fuck the male wrestlers in Japan cannot fucking show any fire, any passion at all, and every single Joshi wrestler on Earth practically can do it. Every young Joshi wrestler. I have no idea. It's just completely ridiculous.
The horrific thing about this is that when he was showing fire during the Wrestle Kingdom main event, it was in the wrong spots and done badly. So even when he tries to do that, he does it like he looks fake when he does it. And any passion that he puts into it is Joe Lenz has a player, I think he has a saying about people being play wrestlers or something like that. That's Shota Umino, like to a T. Like he is so fake. There's nothing real about him in like his act. I'm a guy who has stocks in him. He was my guy, let down by him over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really sad. But yeah, the match itself was pretty good.
When they got to it, like the last third of the match was really good, but it's because they're like technically good wrestlers physically, but it's Shota. Send him to AEW, please.
Yeah,
they love him there.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. The match itself, they Shota and, like I said, Zach and ELP had some nice little wrestling sequences. Shota and Zach, Shota and Zach had a nice little flash pin reversal exchange.
Yes.
Towards the end, and they went to like a pretty fun sequence in general. And like that's part of what makes Umino so fucking frustrating is like his actual ring work is not the problem. His ring work is good. Yes. He's good he's good at doing moves. He's good at selling, except when he actually's fallen asleep at a fucking Boston Crab or whatever. But he's good at that. He just has no fucking like physical charisma whatsoever, and he has no passion. He has no fire. So if he could learn to show a little bit of fucking passion and fire, he could be something still. But yeah, I don't know. Just so frustrating. 3 1/4, pretty good little match, but just ridiculous that this is what's the come of the two Wrestle Kingdom main eventers, and I guess it shows how badly booked their entire year has been. So, third match, Hiroshi Tanahashi pins Yuya Uemura in 9:30, and the fucking text just says pin, which is funny because he barely even pinned him. This was really disappointing. I mean, Tana's had some very good matches on this retirement run. He had a really good match with Shota Umino at the Sakura Genesis show I was at. He had a very good match with Takeshita in Chicago. There was another one recently I thought was pretty good too, and I can't remember what it was. But the point is, though, he's been pretty good. He just didn't have it on this night. I mean, he looked a step slow again. He looked really off. They told a weird story where, like, Tana... So Yuya was working over Tana's arm to start. Not really the most exciting start. And then Tana and Yuya... probably the only highlight of the match was they both took turns missing crossbodies off the top.
Yeah.
And then Yuya came up selling the arm, and Tana worked on it, and it was the same arm that Yuya injured in last year's G1. But then after that, they went right into a fucking forearm exchange. So with Yuya using that arm, so I was like, what the fuck was the point of that then? Yuya, like not long after that, he countered a sling blade into a Rana. He went for an armbar, and then Tana kind of rolled him up out of nowhere, but Yuya's shoulder was clearly up. So like botched the finish on top of everything else.
I have actually looked to my other monitor and missed the finish when the finish was happening.
Yeah, it was a bad finish.
Because it was not built up at all. It came out of nowhere, and I almost assume it was botched, like a botched finish that was not supposed to be happening. But the refs in New Japan are not supposed to like shoot count.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I went 2.25. I mean, below average match, which really not good, really not very good at all. And just this was a big disappointment on a show that had lots of them. So. And then I guess Tana getting the win makes a little bit of sense since they announced it later on that night for the G1. Yeah. And I guess Yuya's in the same block as him. I don't get his win back there, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And it kind of and Tanahashi kind of needs wins to like be as credible as possible, especially on the shows where they are announcing the G1.
Blocks. All right, now we gotta get to this. Okay.
The worst thing that happened.
IWGP Junior Tag Team titles. It was scheduled to be Yo and Master Wato defending against Sho and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. So Yo and Kanemaru come out, or not Yo, Sho and Kanemaru come out. Kanemaru has his arm in a fucking giant sling. Okay, it looks, first of all, the sling looked ridiculously fake on top of everything else. So, but he has his arm in this sling, and Master Wato and Yo come out, and they're like, what the fuck is going on with this sling? And they basically Sho grabs the mic and says Kanemaru can't wrestle because these villains over there injured him during Best of Super Junior, but we have a replacement for him. This new music theme starts playing, and then on the screen, the word comes up, Doki. The crowd gasps. I honestly, like, when that happened, my first thought was, they're doing some kind of trick here where Doki's going to come out, acting like he's in House of Torture, and turns on them, of course, because it makes no sense that he would join House of Torture. That's not what fucking happened. He just fucking joined House of Torture. I don't even know what to say about this, how bad this was. You had this guy who took over as the junior ace temporarily when he beat Desperado last year, almost at this exact same time, wins the junior title. It's an enormous feel-good story. He's this guy who, went to Mexico with no promotion backing him and started as a fucking indie scummer and had to train himself, basically, comes back to Japan, somehow makes it in New Japan against the fucking odds because Desperado got hurt. He's not very good at first, but he keeps trying at it, and he improves so much and becomes a legitimately great wrestler. And he makes it all the way to the IWGP Junior title, something lots of people thought would never happen. And he, it's a fucking feel-good story in a wrestling business that has, especially in Japan, has less and less feel-good stories because Japanese wrestling keeps getting fucking decimated by American wrestling. All we talk about, especially with New Japan, is how they lose wrestler after wrestler. They lose wrestlers to AEW. They lose wrestlers to WWE. They can't even re-sign Naito, who's not even going to America because they don't, they couldn't make the finances work or whatever. We have so many feel-bad stories in Japanese wrestling in New Japan. So here's a real feel-good story. Then he gets injured in a freak accident in Wrestle Kingdom. He
against Desperado.
Against Desperado. Has to forfeit the title. Everybody wants to see this guy come back. He misses Best of Super Junior. Okay. Dominion rolls around. Why the fuck would you bring this guy back as a heel in House of Torture? First of all, a horrible idea to put this guy back as a heel to make him a fucking heel junior in House of Torture. It's already a horrible idea to do, even if you want to get there eventually. Why the fuck would you not bring this guy back as a feel-good story, as a babyface, and then let him do the fucking turn 6 months from now when it might actually have an impact after you gave people, you gave people a feel-good run, a return run from injury that people want to see. And then if you want to turn him heel because you want him to go against Desperado, fine. You could turn him heel and, and maybe that will work for him. He's been a heel in the past, obviously he, that's his, I did see some Japanese fans defending it, saying, he was a heel in Suzuki-gun, and that's his roots or whatever. but it made no fucking sense to just bring him out here as a heel out of nowhere. You don't get any return platform coming back as a face. You don't get give the fans a chance to see him come back and be a babyface again after he got ripped out of everybody's arms with the injury. You just bring him out as a heel with no fucking build up, no fucking nothing. Just here he comes to replace Kanemaru because Kanemaru has a fake injury, and you could tell the live crowd was like, "What the fuck is this?" They looked every time they would cut to them, they looked fucking confused. They looked upset. Like, people did not look happy at all about this. And it's just like, it was such a fucking wet fart. It was such a fucking downer. Why would you want to fucking kick your own fans in the face like this in a time when you've already just lost the fucking top draw of the company? Like, I'm fucking yelling now because it makes no fucking sense you would do this. Why would you just lost the top fucking babyface in the company a month ago. This is not a company that's riding on a fucking wave of goodwill with anybody. So why the fuck would you kick everybody in the fucking face like this with Doki and have him come out and be a fucking heel? It makes no fucking sense. It's just one of the dumbest fucking decisions I've ever seen in my life. If you want him to be... His explanation for why he turned, that he didn't like that just 4 guys decided to become part of Hantai without him, makes sense. Why not let him do the fucking turn on them at least? Like, here he just... What is his beef with Watto and Yo? They have nothing to do with anything. So yeah, I don't just incredibly stupid booking, incredibly bad. Honestly, one of the worst fucking decisions I've ever seen Gato make. And I cannot bury this enough. Just incredibly stupid. Incredibly fucking stupid. Like, I hope I think the disgust in my voice is coming through because just such a horrible decision. Horrible.
The wasting, everyone who watches wrestling understands the return from the injury pop. Everyone. When a guy gets
injured... It's one
of
the biggest pops you can get!
Exactly. Because he has been gone for more than half a year. And it's not like he was injured in training where we did not see it. He got injured in a fucking Wrestle Kingdom match, in a title match against the Junior Ace, who, by the way, is not on this show because he has a match booked against Jun Kasai, and then he faces the Best of Junior winner. It's like, you can even, if you want to turn Doki relatively quickly, you can do it. But you do not do it before using his return from injury to get the pop from the crowd of the people. Then you then you break their hearts afterwards. You can even, if you are an asshole, do it on the same show. But first, let him be a babyface. Let the crowd cheer for him. Let the crowd be happy for him and themselves that their guy is back. He is no longer hurt, and he is back, and we will get to see him. No, he comes out as a heel. So, we talked at the start of this show about how different Japanese people look at wrestling, how they are more invested in their guys. If you are a fan of Doki, even if you were a fan of Doki when he was a heel, you on purpose were booing him because that's supporting your heel guy, because he is evil, so you have to boo him, so he knows he does his job well. But then he turns face and you cheer him because you are happy that you can vocally cheer and support him because he's your guy. He has been your guy for years now, but he is now face. You can legally support him. And now he just comes back as a heel without you being able to vocalize that you are happy for him, that he's coming back. This is even the dumbest booker ever knows that there is a return from injury pop. And every wrestler who returns from the injury should return as a face. Even fucking MJF returned as a face. Then he turned heel relatively quickly.
Okay, you want to know a funny one? Evil wasn't even injured. He just vanished for a month. And they still had him come out in Osaka acting like he was going to fucking confront the rest of the House of Torture and turn face so they could get a fucking return pop for him.
Yes.
How come they could figure that out for Evil, but they can't figure that out for Doki? Fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry to shout so much, but I cannot fucking believe how stupid this was.
It's it's as we said, it's one of the worst decisions that this company has ever made. Like actually, like undisputably, one of the worst decisions that this company has ever made. It's not about someone winning or losing. No. It's about like not understanding the actual basic wrestling thing. Like even I, someone who has never worked in wrestling business, understand that when people come back from injury, they are cheered, and you are supposed to let people cheer their guy returning. Then you turn him heel. You can do that, but first they cheer. You let them cheer him. Like they took that away from people. Like that's insane. That's actually fucking insane.
To make a fucking so there could be a surprise fucking member of House of Torture on a fucking show that already had 2 new members of House of Torture. It's like with the fucking junior tag titles. What was the benefit here? I don't even understand the theoretical benefit. Completely useless. And on top of that, it also makes no fucking sense either. So basically, Sho and Kanemaru, as Doki's coming out, they attack Yo and Wato in the ring. Kanemaru, the sling falls off. His arm is clearly fine. Why the fuck would New Japan, if this was real, let fucking Doki come out and be in that match when Kanemaru just showed that he's completely fine? So they made the company look like fucking idiots again. Like, why does everyone do this? Let's just bring out something. Like, next time, when Callum and Great O'Connor defended the tag titles, they should have fucking had Callum come out with his arm in a sling and just had fucking, I don't know, Francesco Akira attack somebody from behind or something. Like, why the fuck? They don't even have a third heavyweight anymore, I don't think. So struggling to find somebody for that. But, like, they should do this in every match, apparently, because you could apparently just fucking say, oh, well, this guy has a fake injury, so here comes a third person to fucking replace him. It makes no sense. Like, why didn't the ref immediately say, Kanemaru, you're clearly not injured. You're the one booked in this match. Ring the bell. You're in the match. Why the fuck was Doki allowed to take his place? It made no fucking sense. So, on top of that, it also made no fucking sense in kayfabe. So, yeah, I don't even want to talk about this anymore, honestly. Like, I'm getting so angry. Like, this was so fucking stupid. This was so fucking bad. I haven't seen a single person even offer a defense of this, really. Besides, like I said, some Japanese fans are like, oh, well, he's getting back to his roots as a heel. That's the most defense I've seen anyone try to make of it. So, I mean, he had the lead pipe again. So if anyone wants to see people hit the people with the lead pipe, I guess you get to see that again now. But yeah, I mean, oh my God, this fucking sucks so bad.
And it completely killed the rest of the show.
Yeah, completely killed the rest of the show to the point where the crowd was like, you could tell they had their fucking hearts ripped out. I mean, just completely fucking killed them. So, yeah, I mean, just really, really bad. Really, really bad. Match 5, the IWGP Tag Team titles. Finally, something good happened on this show. Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii defeated Callum Newman and Great O'Con. Taichi pinned Callum in 12:46 with the Black Mephisto. Taichi, as he walked out, I'm pretty sure he was selling that he was like devastated by the Doki turn. So, at least somebody still cares about consistency or narrative consistency in this company. But that's what I thought he was doing because he looked really upset when he was walking out. But yeah, this match was awesome. I thought this was the best match in the show, honestly. I liked this better than the main event, which is the only other match I would have at this level. But yeah, there was like this great back and forth sequence between Taichi and Callum Newman. Ended with Taichi like dropping Callum right on his head with a high angle backdrop suplex. At that point, the crowd was louder for, it took them a little bit to get into it because like we said, the Doki term ripped their hearts out, but they were louder for Taichi here than anything else on the show, which I hope New Japan management was listening. I'm not sure they were based on somewhere.
No, that doesn't matter. He's not going to be in G1. Don't worry about that. He's not going to do that. She's going to travel to America to get the sweet dollar paycheck, and Taichi is going to be playing some video games.
Ocon did like he did a dive to the outside. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. It was a somewhat awkward slingshot tope. I was impressed if he could do it at all, though.
He sometimes does it. Sometimes he does it. Not often. From time to time, he does it.
Callum then did this. He leaped really far on a somersault tope. He almost overshot Taichi entirely, but it still did look pretty cool. And then back in the ring, Taichi countered an Oz cutter with a midair super kick. Taichi and Ishii hit the Brainbuster and Black Mephisto combo, and then Taichi pinned Callum. They won the titles. Ishii leapt into his arms in celebration. That was such a cool moment. I was like, Oh my god, that was so cool.
Black Saints forever.
Yeah. Taichi, I mean, the story they told with Taichi this year, where he was like so low on confidence and couldn't buy a win for a long time, like that made this even bigger. So I mean, this is the frustrating thing about New Japan is they still have some wrestlers that I love, absolutely, like Taichi, one of my favorites of all time, Ishii, one of the best of all time, Callum, who looks so much better since his return from injury, and Great Okan, who's maddeningly inconsistent, but when he cares, like he did today, he can be really good. So yeah, 4-star match.
Yes, and
very enjoyable tag team sprint. The right team won.
The only good thing that got out of the Dontaku tour is that Callum. I had doubts about Callum because like last year I did not buy him at all in G1 but the Goto match and the belt to Goto match and the Goto match itself helped him so fucking much. He is going to be really interested. I hope he gets to the fucking G1. He should, but I assume he will not because there's not enough slots. We have to have Sanada.
Okay, so here's the G1 announcements. They were after this match. So we did get the blocks, which I thought was interesting. So the A block is Hiroki Goto, Bolton Oleg, Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, David Finlay, Evil, Sanada, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. There will also be there's 2 wild cards in each block. So the first A block winner one is the winner of Taichi and Callum Newman. And the other A block winner one is the winner of Ryohei Oiwa and Don Fale. I assume Oiwa is going to win.
Yeah, so Oiwa should win.
Pretty shocked. And Oiwa could do some good stuff in this block. Putting Callum and Taichi in the same fucking qualifier.
Yeah, it's awful.
Is so fucking stupid. You have one of your best young wrestlers, either one of your best young wrestlers who has been so much better since April, is going to miss it, or you're fucking... Like, Taichi, again, for people who don't have ears, he's the second or third most popular wrestler in this fucking company. And he's probably going to miss the G1 again for the second year in a row. This is where this company gets so fucking stubborn and so fucking set in their ways. They're just like, well, Taichi's not in the G1 anymore because he's too old, and that's it. And this fucking company is like, they live to shoot themselves in the foot. They live to shoot themselves in the foot. And there's another way they shot themselves in the foot too, which is when we get to the other block, the other qualifiers, you're not going to hear me say Hiromu Takahashi's name, even though he's been IWGP Heavyweight Tag Champion this year, even though he had the fucking match of the year last year with a heavyweight, Hanare, for the Never title last year, even though he's been mixing up with heavyweights throughout the last year, he's still not in the fucking G1 somehow. He's not even in the fucking qualifier. Like, what is it going to take to get Hiromu to G1? Do you know how much more exciting that fucking A block would be if Hiromu was in there mixing up with these guys? He had a great fucking best of Super Junior. He's not washed up, despite what some people will tell you. And he would have been a huge fucking boost to this G1. He would have given this G1 a huge amount of juice. And instead they're like, he's a junior. We're not promoting him. We don't want to pay him the extra money to be a heavyweight and be in the G1. So he can go fuck himself. No. And the fans can go fuck themselves.
Instead, we are going to pay Chase Owens and Don Fale.
We're going to pay Chase Owens and Don Fale. If they pay them 1 penny, it's too much, okay?
Yes.
I know it's not cool to sound this angry, but, like, I'm so fucking pissed off at this company lately. Like, they just all they do is live to shoot themselves in the fucking foot. That's all they live to do right now. This G1 sucks. This G1 fucking sucks on paper. The best case scenario is we get Taichi in the A block, and get some excitement, but then we miss out on Callum Newman for no reason when he just coming off a world title shot last month. Why put me in the position where I have to root for Taichi to get in and for Callum to miss when I have another match we're going to talk about in the B block is Yoshihashi versus Chase Owens? Fucking Callum and Taichi should be in over both of those people. Give me a fucking break.
Unless Callum is leaving for England to spend like summer with his family because he has been out, and he has a long 2 months break or something like that. It makes no fucking sense. I talked about before, Sanada was my guy. Sanada still is my fun guy, but he does not need to be in fucking G1. Not anymore. Just take him away. Give him the qualifier. Let Fucking Drilla Maloney beat him in qualifiers for one of the blocks. It's fine. He does not need to be in G1. Taichi can be in G1 in his slot, or Callum can be in G1 in his slot. Or rather, both of them can be in G1 in his slot. Like, it's not that difficult to do. Like, I understand that he is getting the IWGP tag titles as like reward for not doing anything and being pissed last year. But like, what the fuck are we doing? Again, as I said, unless it's because Callum is leaving for England to have a break, I don't understand what we are doing here. Because Callum losing G1 this year will hurt him a lot, and Taichi losing this G1 this year,
it hurts the fucking G1.
Yes,
exactly. Yeah, one of your most over guys just not in it for no reason. So yeah, it's just incredibly stupid. The fucking hits keep on coming. B block, this looks a little better than A block, I guess. El Phantasmo, Shota Ubino, Shingo Takagi, Zack Sabre Jr., Great Okan, Gabe Kidd, Ren Narita, and Konosuke Takeshita. The two qualifiers are, oh god, Tomohiro Ishii against Drilla Maloney, which again, we have to pick between a young wrestler I want to see in the G1 or Tomohiro Ishii for some fucking reason. And then Yoshihashi and Chase Owens, which neither of those people need to be in the G1. So, I mean, I like Yoshihashi, but he doesn't need to be in the G1. So yeah, just horrible, just completely fucking horrible.
At least Yoshihashi is the popular guy. It's the same case with him and Taichi.
Yeah, well, Taichi's way more popular than him, though. But no, I guess to a degree, though. But yeah, I don't know. I just like, what do you? This again. I am not afraid. Unlike many podcast hosts out there, I am not afraid to admit my biases. Obviously, I want New Japan to be good, but it means I'm even more pissed for they're this bad. And, this G1 looks fucking boring as shit on paper. And what should be the most exciting time of the year, there's nothing here to be excited about. They couldn't get a good outsider or anything. I've heard apparently... I don't know if this was something I'm supposed to repeat or not. You know what? Somebody can get mad at me. I don't remember if this was something I'm not supposed to say. There's at least 2 AEW wrestlers I know of who asked Tony Khan to be in the G1 and were turned down. So, nobody say I'm blaming it on AEW. I'm not blaming it on AEW because New Japan is doing enough shitty things on their own. But it does fucking suck that AEW can sign up all their fucking wrestlers, but then when 2 different wrestlers want to go work their first G1, Tony Khan's like, I'm not doing that. So, whatever. But yeah, so AEW's not helping them out. Even like I said, even with wrestlers that want to be in it, they're not getting any outsiders from other Japanese promotions. It's just the most boring, staid, nothing happening G1. And again, New Japan won't even help themselves internally. They won't even put Hiromu in it, which at least would have been something exciting and something new. They're probably not putting Taichi in it, or they're not putting Cal Newman in, which makes no sense. And by the way, Taichi and Ishii have to qualify, even though they won the tag titles on this night. Cal Newman has to qualify, even though he won the tag titles twice and had a world title shot last month. But Boltin Oleg doesn't have to qualify, even though at this point in the night he hadn't even won the Never title yet. And his only singles win for the year was over fucking Bad Luck Fale. That doesn't make any sense. So
and the Sonata, again, I repeat, Sonata. He's really bad.
He hasn't done anything. I'm talking from kayfabe perspective.
Yeah, I know. And Sonata has not done anything at all.
Yeah. So, why the people who have to qualify and don't have to qualify makes no fucking sense. Because Bolton and Callum both qualified last year, and they're making the one who's done way more this year qualify again, and they're not making the one who has done almost nothing qualify. It doesn't make any sense. The one thing I've seen some people argue is that Callum isn't going to be in it because they would have just had him be in it instead of having to qualify if he was going to be in it. So maybe that's true, but I think they're just going to give him the win back over Taichi. That's what I think is going to happen. So I don't know. Let's get to the rest of this fucking piece of shit show. Boltin Oleg beat Konosuke Takeshita in 13-12 at the Kamikaze. This was very good. But it's not as good as their Osaka match, which is going to be the case for another one too. I went 3 3/4 on it. It had a great ending.
There were good spots in there. Oleg catching Takeshita doing the knee was really fun. That was like really good spot. I like pumped my fist into the air, but rest of it was like really like them repeating the match they've already done before, and obviously not having any new ideas for it. So they need to get away from each other for some time now, because they've spent everything they had and they don't have anything else.
Evil beat David Finlay in the dog collar chain death match in 23:05 by TKO. He had the entire gigantic House of Torture with him. Finlay only had Drilla, Gato, Clark, and Ishimori. So basically, his entire backup was 3 juniors and 1 former junior. Because Gabe Kid's in the next match, so he can't be here, I guess. So it's 10 on 5. The big problem with this match, besides everything else, is Finlay, he gets busted open early, and that was supposed to be the blood spot for the match, but he barely bled. It was a very bad blade job, so that did not help. I didn't think it was like, I saw some people say it was like the worst match I've ever seen, that kind of thing. I didn't think it was that bad. They did some little cool spots, like the, Evil Finlay like powerbombed Evil over the top rope under the rest of the house, and there was Evil wrapped the chain around Finlay's neck and like kind of pulled him by the chain of a ring post. I thought was a pretty neat little spot with a chair around his neck, I should say. So there were some neat little spots here, but it was like there were so many times just ground to a halt too. Towards the end, the house members like started running in one at a time, that they were like the fucking goons in a video game. It didn't really make any sense. It's like, why did you wait to run in? But then they finally put Finlay away. Fowley like crushed him with the splash from the table, which that looked like it sucked. And Finlay had a huge cut on his back after that. And a new referee ran in. Evil put Finlay in the... I don't know why they had the ref get bumped when there's no DQ anyway, but why not, I guess. And then Evil put Finlay in the Scorpion while choking him with the chain at the same time, and the ref stopped the match. Like I said, I didn't hate it, I guess, but it was not good either. Like 2 1/4.
The thing
and the crowd did not react for a lot of it either.
Yeah, the thing about this match is that I think when they have, like, these two guys, when they have talked about it at first, like 4 months ago, before the cage match in Dontaku, they probably said, okay, and then we will lead to the dog collar match, because those are en vogue right now. We will do it, and it like makes sense for us, and we will build to it, and it's going to be dominant on the biggest show, and it's going to be in our special singles match. And at start, it was like just a simple, straightforward dog collar match. But then someone came out and said, "Oh, but we have new House of Torture members, and we need to like get them involved somehow. They need to have spots in the match." So it means that all of the you know how Gato came out with Finlay at the start of the match, and then like walked to the back, and I was like, oh, so Finlay is the heroic babyface. He's going to face them all alone, and it's going to rule because he's going to fight, but in the end succumb to the numbers. No, but Gato then came out with the rest of the War Dogs, and I'm like, oh, that's so fucking dumb. So you did all this like posturing to just came out with them, because they could not come out with him at the start, so it like
made so weird.
Sense. It was like weird. So it was as if like someone had a good idea at the start, and then they were piling in the things that are tropes in wrestling, and then piling, and in the end it was a complete garbage match, because the idea of the dark color is the two guys facing each other, bleeding and beating each other up until one of them cannot go anymore, and it's the KO, TKO, or basically the guy has to give up. It's like submission only, basically. Without the submissions, like the sports wise, it's just the bloody brawl. This was just a normal fucking New Japan Pro Wrestling match where there's a chain from the start. That's all. That's all what it was. So it wasted the step. It wasted the slot on the match. It wasted everyone's time, and it was so complete garbage. Like, it was so bad. And now, by the way, the way they could have done this and used this match was to use it and give Finlay time off from G1 and give the slot to Drilla, and it would be fine. If they do that, at least the match had some reason to exist. If they do not do that and Finlay just comes back, just pissed, and evil at Sanada, the match was completely useless and actually wasted everyone's time. So there's that.
Fun time.
Yes.
The semi-main event, Gabe Kidd defeated Yota Tsuji in 23-25 with the drill a hole pile driver to become the 5th global heavyweight champion. Okay, so Gabe, I was very curious about his reaction here after obviously doing the AW run. He had his fucking knee pad. One has the New Japan logo, the other one now has the War Dogs logo and the Death Riders logo. So Death Rider Gabe Kidd.
Nobody knows what the logo is, though, so it doesn't really matter.
It took me a little while to realize what it was, but
yeah, I had to be told what it was.
But look, okay, we're not the man in the arena, so we can't criticize him. So I hope
I luckily do not know what that means because I am not an American.
But yeah, so Gabe, he didn't get booed coming out. He didn't get anywhere near his normal reaction.
I think it's partly because of the shitty show before that.
That's what I was going to say. I think a lot of that was the shitty show.
And the previous match had like stretcher job, so it's difficult.
They started fast. They hit dives on each other, which did wake the dead crowd up a little bit.
They knew that they had to start fast. That's how you know that they knew what was going to happen, and they prepared for that. So they knew what was going. They knew exactly what they were supposed to do. So at least that worked out.
I did like how they started teasing the double count out right away after how the last match ended on a draw, obviously. Yes, so Red Shoes, they were just like fighting, and the Red Shoes got all the way up to 19, and they finally both stopped fighting and charged in the ring simultaneously. I did think it slowed down back in the ring. Tsuji was doing some pretty weak forearm shots before he did finally get a pretty hard one at the end. But yeah, the crowd was like not that hot for it still at that point, and I couldn't tell if that's the weirdest for Gabe, the lack of build, or just the show being so shitty. And then there was a very unfortunate moment where Gabe totally missed a senton with Tsuji hanging over the ropes. He leapt right over him. He cracked his head on the back of the mat pretty hard. Tsuji still had to sell it. Gabe said backstage he actually got concussed on that, so that's not good. And the crowd kind of laughed at them, which I thought was like, you do not hear that reaction from Japanese crowds very often. So, but they recovered well from that. I will say they started slapping each other very hard in the chest. They fought to the outside where Gabe hit a nice triangle moonsault, which even more impressive. He could hit that up the triangle moonsault, the turnbuckle to the floor after apparently having his bell rung. And then he dropped Tsuji with a tombstone pile driver out there. Gabe was like, "Here's an ode to Claudio." And then he did a fucking horrible giant swing. He had to give up on it for like 2 rotations, which I thought was funny. He went right to a Boston Crab. So he went from the fucking ode to Claudio to the New Japan Young Lion move. Not a confused persona here at all, though.
No, not at all.
And it was notable to me, too, that Gabe, he started doing like, "This is shit, Nihon bitch, come on." That got nowhere close to the reaction it got in February again. It got no reaction here almost. So I think the shine is off of that, honestly.
Yeah, he has to figure something else.
It's like you're fighting for Shin Nihon spirit and also shouting out random heels in AEW. It's very weird. He's doing like strike.
At least choose like Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Like my dude. Yeah. Like
he's doing like strike exchanges one moment, and then he's randomly punching Shuji in the face with like a cheap shot instead of slapping him. Like, what is this guy supposed to be at this point? It's so weird. I guess he's the man in the arena. Gabe, he countered the spear with the fucking, whatever the fuck Moxley calls that double underhook DBT, the paradigm shift or whatever. And then he hits the pile driver to put in the title. Gabe was in tears over it, but the pop really was not that big.
At least the finishing sequence, the Moxley DDT and the finishing move, the Moxley DDT he did really well. Like that looked awesome. So I can forgive that. That's fine. The issue there is that actually choosing to shout out people from AEW when you are choosing like the heels, while you were supposed to be heel against AEW, you are face here. So you cannot really choose the heels to shout out, especially because they also played heels against your guys, against New Japan Pro Wrestling before. So you cannot do that. Just don't. Just skip that.
It's very strange. It's very strange.
You do not need to say that. You do not need to do the giant swing. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to.
So I don't know what to rate. I really didn't know what to rate this match. I mean, it's not like I liked it. Plenty of great stuff, but
it was a good. It was a good match, but it was
but the magic is gone. The magic is gone with Gabe. It did not touch the February match that I went 5 stars on. I ended up going 3 3/4. I could not even get to 4 on this. I mean, just a huge drop off from the February match. Gabe did this post-match speech where he said, he and Tsuji are the wrestlers of this decade. After he said Okada and Kenny were the wrestlers of last decade, which is bold of him to leave out Naito, the actual wrestler of the 2010s. But anyway, he called out Tanahashi to be his first challenger.
That makes a lot of sense. I like that move.
So that will happen on New Japan Soul Tour at the Tokyo Budokan. I guess that's their apology for not having Naito and Bushi in their hometown. So main event, Hiroki Goto retains the IWGP World Heavyweight title against Shingo Takagi in 28-25 with the GTR Kai. I mean, this was a great match. It had the closing stretch, the intensity you wanted. It just, there wasn't a ton to talk about with it to me. It's just kind of like a baseline great match. I mean, I went 4 stars on it. It's just, I've seen a lot of people be way higher on it than me, but I didn't really see why. It just felt like a normal, this is like the baseline level for a Goto Shingo match.
Yeah.
Like it did not over deliver to me at all.
I'll read you my note. My only note from this match: Goto versus Shingo is a classic wrestling match.
Yeah,
because this is what, like, if you want to pick a classic New Japan Pro Wrestling main event, you pick this match and you show it to people. This is not something high up, and this is not something that's bad. This is a classic match on a big show. This could have been any other year in the past. I've been watching New Japan since 2017? Yeah, early 2017. So in the last 8 years that I've watched New Japan, this is like any random main event on any random show. It's a classic wrestling match for me. Like, this is what it is. Nothing special.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything great. So that's division. Fucking shitty show.
Yes.
A shitty. I mean, look, there's 2 4-star matches on it and 2 3 3/4. So it's the people who just like pick and choose certain matches are going to be like, whoa, I don't know why the crowd was a little dead, but the show wasn't that bad. But if you actually care about New Japan and you care about the storylines, you care about the units, and you care about the, you're not just a fucking tourist popping in for certain matches, you're going to hate this show. If you're an actual New Japan fan, I have not seen a single actual New Japan fan say this show didn't suck. Because that's not what we want out of New Japan. Even the people like me who have defended the house in the past, I've enjoyed the house in the past. I am not a House of Torture hater. I've enjoyed them. I think they work as a mid-card comedy heel act.
Yes.
I really like them. But they are not meant to be a 10-person heel army taking over the show. That's the part that really sucks.
Shit. That's dumb as shit.
So it's just really, really bad, and just a company that feels completely adrift and completely out of ideas. And, like I said, the G1 stuff just showed I'm not excited for the G1, which is really, really bad for, which should be one of the most exciting parts of the year. So the show's coming out. I have no idea why they're airing these shows in Aomori and Yamagata on New Japan World. They're just total house show level shows. I guess they're doing a Tanahashi Tomoaki Honma kinship match in Yamagata on Saturday, which, God bless if you want to see that at this point. But yeah, just really not much else going on here. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think of is maybe they were originally going to do a longer tournament for the G1 qualifier and just decided not to for whatever reason. But, other than that, I don't know why they're even airing these shows. So the first show with anything of consequence, unless, like I said, you really want to see Tanahashi versus Tomoaki Honma for some reason, is the Monday, June 23rd Korakuen show. That show has the first 2 qualifiers, which again is Ishii versus Drilla Maloney and Taichi versus Callum Newman. Really nothing else of note on that card that I can see. I'm just looking down it now. Yeah, nothing else that interesting. I forgot to mention, Goto called out Zach afterwards, and that's happening on a show no one outside Japan can watch. So great things going on in New Japan right now. Tuesday, June 24th has the Death Pain Invitation Now. That is the show happening at Korakuen. So far, we have El Desperado defending the junior title against Jun Kasai. We have Toru Sugera from Freedoms and Bolton Oleg against Toru Yano and Hirata Tomoya. We have Rina Yamashita and X against Masashi Takeda and Kenji Fukimoto, also from Freedoms. And yeah, that's all we have so far, I think. I don't think there's anything. Oh, wait, did they announce something else they didn't put on the English site? I think there might have been one other match. I don't know. Who cares at this point?
I actually do not really care about that.
Yeah,
it's weird if that X is supposed to be Suzu. Why not announce her?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Or it's
right?
not Suzu. Was that supposed to be like someone who's supposed to be in the country? Someone from like Whispers, AEW, who was supposed to be in G1 qualifiers and is not there. Maybe someone like that was supposed to be there and was supposed to be in this match or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe someone like was supposed to be in Stardom already and is not in Stardom right now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Xena returns and turns heel, joins Mivida Loca. So Suzu has an actual partner and she wrestles with Rina Yamashita on this show, which doesn't make any sense at all. So just shooting like stuff. I don't know. I don't actually know what's happening there.
Who knows? Sunday, June 29th is Tanahashi Jam, which again, if you're listening to this, you're not in Japan, you can't watch it. So it's airing exclusively on CSSIE, which even so that's like a Japanese satellite network. So you have to pay extra money for that. You know, a lot of Japanese people don't get it. I saw a lot of Japanese fans complaining about this too. What I did see was another Japanese fan was telling them that you can actually stream CSSIE over the internet now. So I guess you can sign up for it on a month-by-month basis for 1,500 yen. So like $12 or whatever. So he was basically telling them to think of it as a 1,500 yen pay-per-view and just cancel after. So, which did calm one of the other fans down who was complaining about it. So but that's GeoBlock, so we can't do that. So, but yeah, if you're in Japan, you'll be able to watch it. If you're in America or anywhere else in the world, you'll have to wait until it goes up on New Japan World, which apparently will be sometime before the G1, from what I've heard. But nobody really knows. I'm honestly hoping, that somebody who just has CSSIE, like through one of those Japanese TV services or something, is able to rip it and just upload it to like one of the pirate sites for us, because I don't want to wait around until New Japan feels like putting it on World. So yeah, it's a big show.
It's going to be similar to the Samurai Boy anniversary show that still is not on Stardom World.
Yeah.
And I have still not watched the second half of it because I have been waiting for it.
Oh yeah, sorry. So that's still not on Stardom World.
No.
Yeah.
Last I checked,
although at least Americans could buy that.
Yes.
Or at least foreigners could buy, because I watched it.
Can you still buy that? Isn't
actually?
like
I don't know if you can't buy it anymore. At least we could. I'm saying.
Yes. That's the thing. It's kind of lost media right now. It's like in this lost media area, which I know it's uploaded on pirate sites, but like I wanted to watch it on Stardom World because I'm paying for Stardom World, and usually the normal strategy is 10 days after it airs, and it's 18th. It's 18 days after it aired. So what's happening?
I assume what's happening with this show in particular is Asahi is paying for the show basically, like paying to bring in all these outsiders, and that's why it's only going to air on their network. But like, they really couldn't just geo-block it in Japan and put it on World for Americans. They've done that before. It's just kind of fucking stupid. Opener, the kickoff match is Katsuya Murashima facing Daiki Odashima from Noah. So that would be a cool match to watch whenever we get to watch this show. It has an IWGP World title match, so we could, for all we know, we could see a title change here, and we'll not see it for God knows how long. But Hiroki Goto, already making his 8th fucking defense, will face Zack Sabre Jr., a rematch from their match in California that ended with the double pin. We have a World TV title open challenge. ELP will defend against a mystery opponent. A third title match on this show that, again, nobody outside Japan can see. Bolton Oleg will defend the never openweight title against Yuji Nagata. We have Tanahashi in 2 separate matches, which seems like a recipe for disaster for him this time, the way his body is right now. But He's teaming with Shota Umino and Ryusuke Taguchi to face his own mentor, Tatsumi Fujinami, Hiromu Takahashi, and Leona, of course, is Fujinami's son. And Leona and Shota Umino in the same match, fucking funny. I will say, we'll put that together. The two fail sons in the same
Multiple
match.
fail sons in one match.
And the other Tanahashi's other match is him teaming with Naomichi Marufuji to face Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa. So the return of the Kiyomiya and Oiwa team from Oiwa's Noah run. So yeah, the show looks great. Wish I could watch it. It's like, the only thing New Japan's doing that makes me excited at all, I can't fucking watch. So way to go, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Then we have New Japan Seoul, the Tokyo Budokan on July 4th. The other two play-in matches, Oiwa against Don Fale and Yoshihashi against Chase Owens, plus the Tanahashi versus Gabe Kidd global title match. There's also a Korakuen the next night, 2 nights later on July 6th, where there's nothing announced so far. So, and yeah, then nothing until the G1. The G1's July 19th. So that's the world of Shin Nihon, everybody. It's going great. It's going great. Let's talk about something a little happier. Let's talk about the World Ronda Ring Stardom, which, how fucking funny is it that Bushiroad owns 2 wrestling promotions, one of which is possibly the worst book promotion in the world, and one of which is like one of the best, if not the best.
I don't know. Theater kids rule the world. What I can say? What can I say? Nothing.
It's so fucking. Why the fuck? Why do they have like they can have one good booker like Taro Okada? Why is Taro Okada not just booking everything at this point? I mean, it's like, why did he book New Japan too?
I don't think he's booking. I don't think.
Oh, you're right. Everybody says it's. Who do you think it is? You think it's Tam Nakano?
I've heard that. Like she has booked at least her stuff and the world title stuff last year. Like the whole last year, she booked the top of the card. I don't know. Like I don't think she books everything. I think it's like group effort as is usual in Japan right now. Yeah. I think Taro Okada still has like
he has like final say probably.
Yes, he has final say.
Yeah.
The thing is that when he got the job, he said, "I don't want the job. Yeah. I want to give it up. I'm a temporary booker. I don't want this job." And then later down the line, in another interview, he said that they are preparing like places for retired wrestlers. Last year in April, they are preparing places for retired wrestlers to work. So take it as you want. I assume that Tam Nakano has taken a vacation, long overdue vacation, and has been gone. But
she's been on your farm. We discussed this already.
Yes, of course. But she's coming back, and I assume that she will not be publicly announced that she is taken over as the executive producer. That was the name of the job that Rossi had. But I think that at the latest, at the Sumo Hall, they will announce that she has the job and she will be a face of decisions instead of Taro Okada. Yeah, because I also assume that Taro will have, because he's also co-president in New Japan. I know some people don't know that, but he has been co-president in New Japan since when Tanahashi taken over. So he has a lot of jobs. And I don't think he wants the jobs because he cannot like handle them all. And I think he knows that. Stardom is not like people who work with Stardom, who I talk to, have told me that they are very confused company. Like they are disorganized as fuck. On multiple levels. And it's possibly because they are still reorganizing. There are probably some people from New Japan that do not want to work with women. Especially if the women will be like telling them what to do. Some people probably want to tell the women what to do, and the communication breakdown and Taro Okada has to find people who are able to do the job, but
it's amazing the promotions haven't as good as the year they have with that kind of setup. I mean,
yeah. and it's probably difficult to do so, and the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
Yeah.
That was the case with Mina Shirakawa contract. That was the case with even the basic PR stuff and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, you look at it, they put 7,500 people into Yokohama.
Yeah.
Their Korakuen numbers have been amazing. To me, what it says is the people who matter the most, you know, the wrestlers, are doing an amazing job making it work.
Yes,
and especially the training in this company is so fucking good right now. You look at like every trainee that debuts. I mean, the worst one is probably Emma Maishima, and it's not like she's bad. She just really hasn't shown anything yet to me. But like, she's not bad or anything. But like, you know, Kikyo Furusawa, you know, she already has like some charisma and she looks good in there. You know, despite just starting like last month. Yuria Hibe looks better every time I see her. I mean, she just looks, you know, she has a great look, obviously. Her wrestling just gets better every time I see her. You know, now she's in the unit. She just joined Stars over the weekend. So I'm sure Micah somewhere is very upset seeing Yuria Hibe end up in Stars.
She is still in hospital. She has broken hand. I think her hand is broken, and she's in the hospital because she has punched some walls. Because she has discovered that her new graver idol she was supposed to have in the unit has joined Stars, betrayed her. Okay, so.
But John, the other thing was the other new member I wanted to bring up is obviously who's a B Vita Loca is Akira Kurogane, she already looks great. I mean,
I'll send you something over. This is something very graphical because it doesn't really translate without you seeing it.
Yeah, I see.
It's in the Discord. So why they are very good at training and why the wrestlers get so good is seen in the things that I've sent you. I sent you engagement records of 2 wrestlers. One wrestler is Lady C. She has debuted in...
Who, by the way, looks way better lately.
And late 2020 and had exactly 7 matches in 2020. So basically she debuted at 2021. That's, by the way, that's pandemic. So... and she has had in total in under less than 5 years of her career 489 matches, and I was very lucky because this is the exact time that I wanted to do this. World Revered veteran Dakota Kai, Evie, who debuted in, by the way, year 2008, has exactly 488 matches, 1 match less than Lady C. She has 17-year career. Why do these star wrestlers get so good so quickly? Is because they do 110 plus matches a year. So you are talking about Emma, who has not shown what she can do, is because she will show us within a year. Because she will wrestle over 100 times if she does not get injured. Like, for example, Matoi and Anne got early in their career. But that's just a setback. Aya Sakura had the same setback. And look at her.
And she's great. Yeah.
Look at how awesome she is. Because... And
I mean, I raged about this of the last episode. I don't know if you heard the 30 under 30 episode.
Yes, I listened.
The lack of fucking Stardom people that people voted for with this promotion, the wrestlers under 30. There is no promotion in the world with this many great wrestlers under 30. It doesn't exist. It does not exist.
Yeah.
Like like the people at the bottom of my list, Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara. Sayaka is so fucking good already, and she's been wrestling for like 16 months. Yeah. And she's already like one of the best baby faces in all of wrestling. I mean, the fact that nobody wants to... Miyu Amasaki is really good. I mean, there's so many wrestlers under 30 who are so good in this promotion. I couldn't even vote for all of them. Like, that's how many there are. Even the ones who, Rion. Rion is like coming out of nowhere now, who, looked like she was like, whatever. And now she's become this great underdog babyface. Lady C, who like, for the longest time did just look like she never was going to get it. She's becoming much better. Like, even the ones who aren't like great or anything, are getting better and better, and just like you said, they work so many matches, and they the training in this promotion seems like it's so good, and they have access to the people in New Japan who do want to work with women, like Desperado, who's worked with Starlight Kid and helped her add all that technical wrestling. Milano works with them, like, I think a couple times a month. It's like, they have access to that too. So I don't. It's insane to me that they didn't get more votes in that 30 under 30. Just completely crazy.
The thing in 30 under 30. I have written that in the Discord after listening to a Gentleman's Wrestling podcast with Alan Farrell and Jesse. And it's because people probably do not understand that, like, it's baked into the promotion DNA that the top of the card changes every 2 fucking years. Because, look at the history of the promotion. The promotion was founded for Yuzuki Aikawa, who retired after 2 years. On the same show that saw Takumi Iroha debut, Yoshiko get the white belt, and Io Shirai come into the company. Their ace, who the company was founded for, leaves. And on the same show, 3 new people who can get to the top of the company get their either debuts or winning the belts. Then in 2015, after the Ghastly match, when Act and Yoshiko incident happened, more than half of the company leaves. If you see the roster picture in early 2015 and early 2016, it's like 2/3, half of the company is gone. They have to work with other companies to fill out the cards, not just anything. And at the same time, Io Shirai, Kairi Hojo, and Mai Iwatani are booked as strongly as possible, that it brought out the Io wins lol meme, that Io won everything. In 2017, Kairi Hojo leaves, and immediately Mai Iwatani is a world champion. She loses the title in a freak accident to Toni Storm. Toni Storm, who was, by the way, 21 years old. 21 years old, is a world champion of the biggest women's company in the world. Mai Iwatani, when she lost the title, was 24 years old, and she was the world champion. Io Shirai at the time was not even 30 as well. She was 27 or something like that. The company is built on the young people. It's because of the age thing that women start sooner than men in Japan, and they peak higher, quicker, because they have to, because of the cultural things and so on and so forth. But there is no other company in the world, I think, of what I know, that's as used to as Stardom. The locker room is used to. Azumi has been there for almost the whole existence of the company. She has seen Yuzuki Aikawa suddenly leave, and there was place on top. She has seen Ghastly match and act Yoshiko, Nanae, Yoko Bito, and others leave, Arisa Hoshiki also left at the time, also leave and open the spaces for everyone underneath them. She has seen in 2017, 2018 when Kairi and Io left, and Momo Watanabe, who was 18 at the time, became an ace of the fucking company. She was 18, and she was 3 years into her career? It's normal for Stardom to have to be able to replenish your top level acts every 2 years. Last year they lost Utami Hayashishita, world champion. Julia, world and white champion. Mirai, white champion. Mai Sakurai, okay, that doesn't really matter. But who they lost as well? They lost Nanae, who was someone who was there and who could have been pushed. Yeah, who could have been pushed final very easily. And it's there is no issue for this company to basically give everyone new slots.
Not even no issue. The promotion got more popular.
Yes. This year, they have lost Tam Nakano, Mina Shirakawa, Tekla, and Mai Iwatani. Mai Iwatani was there from the start. Yeah. And they will have no issue to put some other people into the main events very easily. It's just what they do. It's what, like, Starlight Kid has seen this happen four times. She has seen people who were above her before that step up. And she has seen these people who were above her, who stepped up, go away. So right now, she's stepping up. She's filling out the slot that Kairi Hojo filled, that Momo Watanabe filled, that Julia filled, that Tam Nakano filled. All these people outside of Momo Watanabe are gone. And she's stepping up in their shoes because that's what the previous generations have done before her. Like, that's what they do. That's what this company does. So I am not in the least surprised that they are going as well as they have been doing before the Yokohama Arena and after the Yokohama Arena. They're fine, and they're going to be fine. And they are even better than before because they actually have training right now of the rookies. Because beforehand, they did not have training of the rookies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Stardom, like I said, it's such a 180. I mean, like we talked about, they do have some difficulties of their leadership structure and stuff. But as far as what we see on the screen, I mean, it could not be a more bigger opposite from New Japan right now, where like everything feels exciting. The young wrestlers especially, New Japan, the young wrestlers feel like they have no fucking direction whatsoever. Stardom, the young wrestlers, you have, Saya on top as the champion. You have Sayaka, who just got a red belt shot. You have Aya Sakura, who also feels like she's right there in that next generation. You have all these wrestlers. Starlight Kid getting the biggest push for her career. Just tons of wrestlers up and down the roster who feel like they're ready. They could break out at any time. And they have stuff in their back pocket too. Like if they ever want to turn Momo Watanabe face, like that feels like something they could do anytime. And just heat her up immediately. And it's just like they have way more booking possibilities. The only criticism I could see of Stardom's booking is, they do take things pretty slow. They've let Saya, Saya's only made 3 red belt defenses since she won the belt in December, which I honestly, we talked about Goto being on his 8th defense already since winning it in February. I kind of hate that shit. I feel like the world title in your promotion, especially when you have a lot of titles, needs to be defended the least by far, not the most, which is what it's been in New Japan. So, maybe you could say maybe one more defense up to now, but I don't really think. I'd rather have too few than too many world title defenses because the world title defenses feel so much bigger when they only happen a few times a year.
Okay, I'll tell you the worst thing that the company does is that they have wasted the one of the best tools they have, and that's the worst thing because since Cosmic Angels had them, outside of the very short period at the start of this year when the Trios division, when like the in air quotation triangle derby was going on, the units tournament, whatever. Outside of that time, the Trios title are not used properly as they could have been used. Otherwise, the rest of the company is booked really well. Like, I cannot point to a thing that's bad and wrong outside of the Trios. I actually hate how they are wasting the Trios opportunity, especially consider how good like their Trios matches are. Like,
no, that's very fair. That's very fair.
Their biggest fault and has been for like longer than a year right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the red belt stuff, I get it, but like I like that there's multiple belts able to be defended on top of shows. I mean the white belt main event shows, and now the IWGP is going to main event the conversion, as we're about to talk about. When there's no red belt match on the show, there's no white belt match on the show, and this show, I don't know if you've seen the tickets, but like everything is sold out except the second floor.
Yeah, I know.
Only second floor A and B is left, so they're going to do a great number for this show, and it's a show that is not going to have a red belt match, it's not going to have a white belt match, it just has an IWGP Women's Title match, and it's going to do a great number. So they've built up other belts that can draw. They have a very deep roster. And they've they're willing to take their time with things, and I don't really think that's a bad thing. I know some people are more like, oh well, they should have something new for Saya already. I think she probably will have one more defense before the 5-star because they're in Sapporo.
They will need something for Sapporo, like they did last year. Same thing.
So she'll have another defense before the 5-star, but like I don't know. I don't mind them taking it slow, So I did want to make that little bit defense of that. The shows over the weekend, I didn't see the Saturday show, which on VOD. That was the show from Numazu, so I can't really speak to that one. I did see the show from Shiga, which was on Sunday because that show did air live. And there's not a ton to talk about there, but I will just mention there was a tag match with Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara against Saki Kashima and Tomoko Inaba. And again, just because even though Saki is probably one of the weaker workers on the roster, she's a name. She's been there a long time. And when Sayaka had her locked in this choke, I was like, oh my God, Saki's going to beat Saki Kashima. And it was a great moment where I was like on the edge of my seat. And then Saki ended up getting out of it and pinning her with the revival. So just a very, very cool little match there. And Tomoko and the other 3 wrestlers in that match are all great. So, even though Saki has her charm, I'm not trying to be a Saki hater, but I think even her fans would admit that she's a better comedy wrestler than she is like a serious wrestler.
Yeah. Lately she has been weird because I don't like the direction she's taken the comedy wrestling right now. I enjoyed her more when she was doing it slightly differently. I enjoy her as a comedy wrestler. I still remember and love the little clip she cut before the 5-stars in 2022, I think, where she did like a super cut of all the revival finishes that she got by of beating like a bigger names, and like that was really fun because that's exactly what she was back then. Right now, what she is, I don't like it. I hope she changes stuff sooner rather than later, because she usually doesn't stay the same for far too long, and I like her, so I want to enjoy her matches.
The main event was probably the only match I would say really worth going back and watching after the fact, which was Shiori Ano, Natsupoi, and Yuna Mizumori beating Hanan, Saida, and Momo Kogo. Sayori ended up pinning Hanan in 14:44. This was a really fun match, really fun 6-woman tags that had me even more excited for a match I'm already very excited for, since Poi and Ano are 2 of my favorites, and I'm definitely pulling for them to win the Goddesses Stardom tag titles. But yeah, just a very fun main event that I would recommend watching. And it was not surprising Sarah got the pin since we were in her home prefecture in Shiga, but a little surprising she pinned Hanan. So hopefully that's not spoiling they're not going to win the tag titles, because I really want them to win the tag titles. But I guess we'll see. You want to get into the conversion preview now?
Yes, let's do the conversion.
Okay.
Supposedly one of the most important shows on the calendar. At least last year it was.
Saturday, June 21st, from Yoyogi National Gym. It will be a pay-per-view, so we'll have to pay extra money for it, like happens a lot with Stardom shows. But let me see if the pricing is up yet. Last time I checked, it wasn't. Just curious if this is a full price pay-per-view or if this is a slightly cheaper one. Stage Crowd. I should have checked this first. No, it's not up yet, so we don't know. Yeah, it'll be on Stage Crowd, whatever price they eventually choose. We have a match 0, Waka Tsukuyama against Yuria Hime. I mentioned earlier, Yuria Hime looks better in the ring to be every match I see her in. I mean, she's progressing really well.
And this is Waka Tsukuyama, substitute leader of the Empress versus Empress X Venus, losing her potential charge. Maika is going to be very angry.
But I'm looking forward to that match. I mean, that should be pretty good. Yes. The Future of Stardom title, we have Hina, almost said Rina. Hina defending against Rion for the Future Stardom title match. I don't really give Rion a great shot here, but I am looking forward to see the strongest twerp in the world.
Yeah, I want to see how Hina is working like fully on top, because this is supposed to be her bullying Rion while still like giving her fair fight. This is not like bully who cheats or so, but someone who is much stronger than the twerp and beating the twerp up. And twerp is going to lose, but it's fine because she's going to give it great fight.
Yeah. I think they were against each other over the weekend. I think I remember their exchange being pretty good. So.
Probably were to build up.
The next match is 6-woman tag. We have Sayaka, Aya Sakura, and Unimon against the it's Momo Kogo babysitting here. She's teaming up with Emma Maishima and Kikyo Furusawa. Kikyo, she is one of those wrestlers who just looks like a natural the moment she started.
Yes,
I mean
she's different, and she's different than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, she has a very well. I will say she has she's doing the Gothic Lolita thing. She looks kind of similar to God, why am I blanking on her name? In Tokyo Joshi, the one with middle fingers all the time.
Maki Ito.
Thank you. She has a very similar look to Maki Ito.
The costume is clear rip off of some anime called Nana.
Oh yeah, duh. I don't know if I've seen the show. I've read the Nana manga. So yeah. Wonder if they're just ripping off the same thing.
It's like 1-to-1.
Yeah, because she's like the punk Nana, not the good girl Nana. Tag match: Hazuki and Koguma.
Sorry. By the way,
sorry, go ahead.
Yunamon is Ishii to Aya Sakura's Nakamura and Sayaka Osakada.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. And didn't she? I was surprised. I thought she wanted to challenge for the high speed title. Oh, yeah, Macy is busy.
The high speed title is weird. We do not talk about the high speed title anymore in this company.
I don't think it's Taro's favorite title or something.
I don't think the roster knows what to do with it.
Yeah. Hazuki and wasn't it? What's her name? So Saki Kashima challenged for it at some point. I don't remember when it was. It was either earlier this year or late last year, and she didn't know about the new rule set or whatever. The 2 out of 3 falls thing in like the 10 minutes. And after she challenged for it, she's like, I never want to challenge for that title again.
Yeah, I don't think they want to, like, the wrestlers. I don't know who came up with the rules, but whoever did, Maysara needs to lose the title and the new champion needs to like change the rules back to what it was before.
Yeah. Hazuki and Koguma against Natsuko Tora and Muraka. This one's the one I'm most whatever on. I seem to be like the lowest person among the entire fan base on the Fukuoka Double Crazy. I'm just never that into their matches. So.
This is basically number one contendership for Muraka and Tora to win, to challenge for the tag titles.
Yeah, Muraka's all right. I don't know.
It's going to be a Korakuen main event. It's fine.
Yeah. We have Hanako against Risa Serra. So this is fucking funny. You can tell this story probably.
Yes. So Hanako was in University Pro Wrestling Club, which is basically fake pro wrestling, not accepted. She was called Fela Risa because she was tall and liked blue, and was inspired by Sarah Risa to start wrestling. Everyone in University Pro Wrestling is usually called by some sexual innuendo name. A Fela Risa is shortened Fellatio Risa, so Blowjob Risa. So Blowjob Risa, that was her name. She wore blue. She was tall, and kind of tried to do the Sarisa moves. Sarisa found out about her somehow, and wrestled with her at the wrestling club at one of their outside show they had, and afterwards she even invited her to Prominence show, where she first wrestled her, and then she did some kind of gauntlet, like running through all Prominence members, and that was like Fela Risa's retirement match, and Fela Risa retired, graduated from the university, and a month later showed up as a new unknown rookie at a Stardom show. So because she got the audition and got in the same day as Aya Sakura did. Yeah. Hanako is one of my favorites because I love tall people. but she's not great. She's my fave, but
the way you said that, so why you love tall people. Well, I thought she was way ahead of Lady C for a while, and now I feel like the gap is closing a little bit. The gap's closing a little bit.
Yeah, she's stalled, and that's fine. The tall wrestlers usually have to take longer to get good because they're tall and nobody will teach them.
I really liked her match with Starlight Kid, but yeah, she's still very hit or miss. For sure.
The big issue she has right now, Hanako, is that she cannot play a monster because we have seen her sell for very small people.
Yeah.
So she needs to go away for at least 6 months, and then she has to come back, possibly as a heel.
Yeah.
And to kick ass and be a monster, or like a real monster. That's the issue that she's right now at. But this is, by the way, this match is happening because Sororisa is retiring.
Yes.
As she's one of the many retirees who announced their retirement this year because it's time to retire. It has been time last year, but she still tried to tough it out, but no.
Because her body's in rough shape, I heard, right?
Oh, you have not seen the last year's 5-star, did you?
Well, she was not great in that.
If you want to see how bad she was, go back and watch the Hanan versus Sororisa in Utsunomiya, which is Hanan's hometown. And you see how often Sororisa takes a powder to the outside to catch a breath. Because she was probably feeling really bad that day. She should not have finished the match. She finished the match.
Yeah. Well, at least she gets
Hanan tried to pin her from a roll up. She gave her a way out, and Sororisa did not take the way out and had Hanan hit a whole finishing sequence on her. She was concussed throughout the match.
So she gets one more big spot here in Stardom at least. I guess that's cool.
Yes.
The next match, this is a big one I've been looking forward to. Amy Sorhei finally returning, I should say. Not retiring, thankfully.
Yes.
Finally returning. So she's teaming here with Saki Kashima, Yagima Rana Yagima, I should say, and Lady C. They are facing Saya Kamitani, Momo Watanabe, Konami, and Rita. So, this should be a cool little match. It's definitely just cool to see Ami back in the ring. So.
Yeah, it's possible red belt challenge for Ami as well if you want to get a throwaway red belt challenge randomly, because she
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, she was one of the people who were filler defenses for Saya Kamitani's white belt reign. After Saya Kamitani kicked in Mina's teeth at the show, Ami Sorei was a January defense or something like that. For the white belt, so it's possible because it's her return match. She can beat her because they have not faced each other for some time, so she can get the supper match. If you want a stat padding.
Next up, the Gods of Stardom tag titles is one I cannot wait for. Hanan and Saya Ida defending against Natsupoi and Shiori Ano. Obviously, Poi and Ano had their amazingly successful produced show that you still have not gotten the chance to watch, unfortunately. But, Hanan and Ida had an awesome match with Azumi and Starlight Kid in that show. Poi and Ano had an awesome tag match in the main event of that show. And now these two awesome teams are going to face each other. Sounds great to me. I just really, 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 really hope Poi and Ano get the win here. I think they deserve these belts after, their 10th anniversary, and what a great crowd they put into that building.
The added wrinkle on this match is that they were champions before and they never lost the titles.
They never lost them.
Poi got injured and they vacated the titles. So it's the added bonus on top of this match.
Do you think they'll win?
It's difficult because this has been part of the concentrated push for Hanan. Saya Ida has had the hand injury that she has never taken care of. If she is going to take care of the hand injury, it's time now to lose the titles, possibly, because it would have been a good champions, because they, both Poi and Ano, need some titles, but they cannot get the white belt or the red belt right now. Either of them cannot get these. Unless Ano is winning the red belt, which would have been too soon to take it off from Saya. That would have been not using the Saya's potential to the fullest. So I don't think that's happening. If this is the Boy and Ano winning the titles, Saya had taken the time off, not doing the 5-star, and returning before the tag league to win the tag league alongside with Hanan, and once again to win the belts to attempt to win the belts from Saure and Poi at the Sumo Hall, like the first circle again, once again, that would work. I think that would be fine. If she's not taking the time off, I would still keep it on these two instead of giving it to Saure and Poi.
Wow. What a betrayal,
because I want Ano to challenge Saya for in Sapporo.
Okay. I was saying, you're betraying my girls here.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, did you see, by the way, so they're at the press conference for this. Poi is...
Yeah, I watch all the press conferences live if I can.
Poi is in Hokkaido promoting the Hokkaido show we keep talking about with Goto, who is also promoting, I guess, New Japan's Hokkaido show for the G1. And so Ano, she had a little Natsu and Ano, like, what's it called? Like acrylic stand from their anniversary show, and the camera like zooms in on it, and the guy, the Stardom office guy, I can't remember his name.
Ando.
Thank you. He reads off the Poi voice, doing like a Poi voice, while Sherry's like shaking the little acrylic stand, and the camera as her voice talking, and the camera would pan back out to show her face. How the fuck she kept a straight face through this? She is the absolute master at doing this, because she did barely even crack a smile. She did not laugh. She has that face at one point where she looks even more serious when we get into, like, she's like nodding along, like, yes, that's right, it's Poi talking, and then like and she shakes it even more, and like, bye Poi. I was fucking crying. Like, Sayori Ano is the greatest straight woman in fucking comedy history. There's never been a better one.
Yes, exactly. It's I think
so fucking great.
I think part of this is because she has lived with Poi for 10 years. And like there are limits that you can like react to Poiness, but I think like the under hitting exactly how Poi would say things.
Bye, Poi!
So incredible. Like, of course, his voice will not be able to do her voice exactly, but he has managed to get as close as possible. It was really good. As I said, I always try to catch the pressers live because it's like around my lunchtime, so I watch them while I eat lunch. Usually, I usually have a blast because these people are insane, all of them.
Then we have the Neo Genesis versus Mi Vida Loca. Finally, the full confrontation of the 8 of them. Starlight Kid, Azumi, Mei Sierra, and Miyu Amasaki against Suzu Suzuki, Rina Yamashita, Itsuka Aoki, and Akira Kuragane. This should be good. I mean, they've had some good confrontations. I feel like the start of Mi Vida Loca hasn't been as great as it could have been. Maybe that's the other booking complaint right now is, having them be 2 part-timers, kind of makes the unit feel pretty empty when they're not around. But the full confrontation should be good. I'm looking forward to it. Azumi missed this past weekend shows due to quote-unquote poor health, which usually means illness. But she's already back in a photo shoot today, I saw on her Twitter, so it doesn't seem like there's any real danger of her missing. She was saying she's recovered. She's pretty much recovered, and she's at the photo shoot. So I think she'll be there this weekend. I think she'll be at this match.
She should be. The Mi Vida Loca, I do not understand if you are creating a unit for Suzu Suzuki who needs some kind of push, and the only push you can give her is to make her a leader of a unit. You give to freelancers, and you do not get the dates on the freelancers. Like, again, that's one of the things that Stardom does, is that they are not organized as well as they should be. I assume nobody asked Itsuki Aoki or Rina Yamashita, so do you have free 2 days on one of the weekends? Can we get some bookings from you? I think they can even pay I think they could even like maybe send Hazuki and Koguma instead of them to do their dates. That would have helped Suzuki. And you have two people who do not want to be in this promotion. Just send them instead. They will draw more people to the shows than Itsuki Aoki and Rina Yamashita can, unless they are deathmatch shows for Rina Yamashita. I don't think she had deathmatch dates. You can send some star wrestlers, and it will be fine for the promotion. Just book the two freelancers you have, start given Suzuki like regularly. What are we doing here? Why have they been on two shows since the unit has been started? It makes no sense.
It is very weird.
Yeah. It's like,
but this match should be good though.
Yeah, they can book these two. They can pay them more than they are getting paid by the indies. It's fine. It's fucking fine. Okay. That's my rant off. Yes, this would be good. I assume they will bleed again.
Yeah.
Although unless they are hiding the bleeding with some kind of hardcore stipulation and they want to bleed, it's also possible. I have told you privately before we did, like last week I did, that I almost expect them to do some stipulation on this match, because I'm surprised it's just straight up. Is that elimination or is that just 8-women?
It's just right now. It's not even listed as elimination. Now it just says
that's so weird.
Versus Mivita Loca 8-man tag.
So weird. Yeah. Unless they do like the surprise announce that it's hardcore, so people bleed just before the match starts.
That's possible, right? I feel like that's possible.
It's possible to not turn people away like ahead of the time because they are cowardly. Because that's the same reason why they did Suzuki versus Meisera match. They did it. Like they announced it as hardcore, but those two wanted to do a straight up match. So they just went outside, both played it, and they came back.
Yeah.
So it was just an excuse to bleed, nothing else.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that the similar thing will happen in this match. I don't assume all of them will bleed. I assume Suzu will bleed. I assume Starlight Kid will bleed, and Meisera will bleed, and Rina Yamashita will bleed. Like if anyone would bleed, those four would be my picks. I don't think Miyu or Azumi want to. Maybe Azumi wants to bleed. I don't know. Maybe. Starlight Kid for sure wants to bleed. I assume so. And Meisera already bled, so I think she's going to be fine doing that. And on the other side, it's obvious. I'm surprised there's no step on this match.
Yeah, it is really weird there's no step. The main event, the IWGP Women's Title, Shiori defends against Sari. This is like a rematch of one of my favorite matches of the year. I mean, the 30-minute draw in February was a 4 3/4 star match. So, in my opinion, up there with Mayu Iwatani versus Shiori as my, one of my favorite women's matches. So yeah, obviously I'm looking forward to this. It kind of feels weird to me in that it doesn't really feel like either woman should lose here, which maybe that just means, it's even more, that even adds to the anticipation and the sense of like, who could possibly lose this match. But yeah, it feels really early for Shiori to lose the IWGP Women's title after she finally won it from Mayu. It also feels weird for Sari to fail in her big quest after she, has been after the quote unquote Inoki belt for 2 years now. Maybe they just sent Sari over to England for that weird match against Alex Windsor so she wouldn't lose the belt as a V0. I could see her wanting to do that so she doesn't lose the belt in her first defense. So ultimately, I do think Sari is going to win. I think she's going to win the title, and they'll, have some defenses, and then there'll be a rematch maybe in December where Sari wins it back. That I could see happening, or maybe even the Tokyo Dome. I don't know if they decide to do it on the Tokyo Dome again. So I guess we'll have to see. What do you think? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Sari won too. So I'm not totally writing that off, but it feels like a Sari win to me.
Okay, so, but if I told you that I expect this to go to a 60-minute time limit draw?
Ooh, spicy.
because that's a thing that Mayu has not done. Only thing that Mayu has not done. Neither of these women will reach the length of the if either of these women win, neither of them will reach the length of the reign that Mayu did, length time-wise or defense-wise. But they have drawn in 30. I assume that it's preparation for Suri to save face and lose in 35 minutes or something like that. But if you look at the show, okay, there's a lot of matches, but there are a lot of possibly very short matches.
Yeah, that's true.
You know how Stardom is able to do these. Like the tag team match between BMI 2000 and FWC, that can be 10 minutes. The trios before that can be 8 minutes. The singles, the future title, 8 minutes. The tag title match, okay, you can do that in 14 minutes. The Amira Tour match, oh, that's fine, that's 12 minutes. The semi-main event, that's a 16-minute match. The 60-minute time limit draw is a possibility. Either that.
Yeah.
Or Shuri wins in, my hope is that Shuri wins in 35. They will break the 30-minute, because I don't think Mayu ever did break the 30 minutes. She did not.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I don't think she did. Mayu, Iwatani, titles, matches. 12, 21, 11, 19, 12, 20, 16, 18, 24, 8, 21. And before that, Mercedes Monet against Kyrie. How long was that? 26, 13, 12. So, no. Even breaking the 30-minute line is going to be breaking new ground. So, there's a chance for a draw, 60-minute time limit draw. That's very outside chance. But my assumption is that Shuri is going to win in 30-something minutes. And then Sari is going to chase her again. And Sari is going to beat her at some other point this year or early next year.
Yeah, I could say it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So,
yeah, but I also really, 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 really do not want Sari to win. So I'm probably grasping at straws.
But yeah, that's your card for the conversion. Looks like a pretty good card. Not I wouldn't call it a stacked card or anything. No, but there's some stuff here I want to see. I mean, I really want to see the tag title match. I really want to see Ami Sorei's return. I really want to see the Neo Gen and Mia Loca match, and I really want to see the main event. So
yeah, the top 4 matches are interesting to me.
Yeah. All right, so we're in hour 4 here again because we've gone 3+ hours on this show.
Of course,
for the third straight episode. Because we wasted an hour talking about absolutely nothing.
Because we didn't want to talk about fucking New Japan.
But let's get into Marigold because I don't want to shortchange them because I've been enjoying them lately. I mean they have such a weird roster. I'm going to get into this when I talk about a few things on the first 2 shows. Their roster now is made up of some really cool rookies who really feel like they had time to develop. They didn't rush them. And they've debuted looking a lot better than some of their other rookies looked last year, including even some of the ones that look better now, like Rei Seto, who was pretty bad at one point, now is perfectly fine to me. Same thing with Minami Komomo. Is that her name? Is it the one I'm thinking of?
Minami Yuki.
No, I think isn't there also a Minami Komomo?
Oh,
Komomo Minami. Komomo Minami.
Yeah, I don't know what her second name is. I know.
Yeah, Komomo Minami. But yeah, she looks better. Minami Yuki looks better. Yeah, a lot of them look better. The Tanaka one looks better. But a lot of those started out pretty rough, and now they look better. What I would say is, there was some good stuff over the weekend. The 2 shows that aired on demand. So I'll just go quickly over those two since you didn't see those.
Yeah.
The first one was on Saturday the 14th, and I didn't even watch everything on these shows. I just kind of picked and choose. The big thing on the 14th in Osaka, which did their biggest crowd ever in Osaka, did a 523, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's not a big venue at all. So apparently that was like standing room only. And it did look, I know Marigold has a tendency to exaggerate their crowds, but that did look pretty packed. The Yuka Yamazaki debut match, that was one of the newest rookie debut, and she's actually an Osaka local. So that's why she debuted here in Osaka. She faced Mirai, and that match went 11-8-08. Obviously, Mirai won. But it was a good debut match for Yuka. Again, I don't, having not to rush these women to have a roster, I think is helping this second wave of debuts a lot, because she looked so much better than the earlier wave of rookies, besides obviously the super rookie. That's been great. But she looked really a lot better and so did, obviously it wasn't like a legendary debut like Shino, but she looked a lot better than a lot of the other rookies have looked. But yeah, Mirai also did a really good job playing the big bully well, which doesn't surprise me. But yeah,
Yuka reportedly had a lot of fans coming there to see her debut, because she is a known fan of the community of the Osaka fans, and even some wrestlers came to support her.
Yeah,
they sent flower stand, the wrestlers.
Wow, that is crazy.
So some locals.
But yeah, she looked good. I mean, she looked good here. Another match I watched from this show was a tag team match with Utami Yashita and Koko Amare defeating the team of Chika Goto and Minami Yuki. There was like a nice big girl clubbing sequence between Go Chika and Koki at one point, and I just wrote down like Koki really needs more of that and less of awkwardly spamming big boots over and over again. But she looked very awkward though doing that spinning dive. Because now she tore ACL or whatever injury she had.
Yeah.
And, she just looks very awkward trying to do that dive now. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah, and she did not have it fixed by surgery.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't have it fixed by surgery.
No, she just rehabbed it.
We had Mai Sakurai, Sari Yamaoka, who of course is the super rookie I was talking about, and Shino, who was the rookie who debuted on the Yoyogi Big Show, the famous daughter, or the daughter of a famous wrestler from Arisen. They defeated Komomo Mimami, Miku Ano, and Rei Seto in 15:54. So yeah, Shino, her debut was not a fluke. She looked ridiculously good and smooth in this match for someone who literally just started doing this.
And
she's only 16. She's not going to be on every show. She's only going to be on shows in certain areas. So this was one of the areas.
Because she has to get there from her school.
Yeah. And then Yamaoka, who's the super rookie, who's also very impressive. She pinned Komomo here with the German suplex hold. The main event was
I'm sorry. I can add some little background for Shino, why she's so good, because she has grown up in dojos, literally grown up in dojos. When she was a toddler, her mom was training in dojos, not just pro wrestling dojos, but kickboxing dojos, karate dojos. I think her father is some karateka or someone like that. So she has been around combat sports her whole life. Do not let her do some interviews and trust her that she has attempted to be an idol. She has been destined to be a pro wrestler since her whole life. I have known about her since like 2019 or 18 when Stardom did a tour there, where her mother, who was supposed to be retired then according to Cage Match, did a run-in spot and was working alongside with Oedo Tai, and her kids were there as well alongside with her. In 2019, Shino got her own gas mask from Hana Kimura, so do not let her sell to you that Mai Sakurai is her idol to go into pro wrestling or something like that. She lies. That's not who led her to pro wrestling. And her mother, to know who her mother trained before, Rising Hayato. She has picked a black trunk dude and made him into Rising Hayato.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yes, she trained him. Oh, rather, not as she trained him. Someone else trained him, but she led him. She was his manager when he was discovering his like the character he plays right now. And like her mother is like doing managerial duties and like run-ins and shit like that in Ahime Pro, and has been doing them like last 12 years or something like that. So she know her whole life she was like counting seats and selling tickets and portraits for her mother and so on. So like she has been wrestler basically since she was able to start to talk. She's very similar to Ram Kaicho in this like regard. Outside of Ram Kaicho being an athletically shit person because she's unable to be physical, she is actually athletically gifted and has had like been doing karate since she was 8 or something like that.
And you can fucking tell when you watch her wrestle.
Yes.
For her to be this good already is so crazy. The main event was Mai Iwatani and Victoria Yuzuki beating Nagisa Nozaki and Megaton. So this was the gimmick where if Megaton got pinned, she'd be out, and she did get pinned. She took a chair to the face from Misa, and then Mayu gave her a moonsault. Just kind of a goofy little match. Megaton, the crowd loves her, but she's not very good at all. So that's just kind of an issue. But, not really much to this match. Just notable because it's the beginning of the remake of Megaton, which we'll get into more in the next few shows. The next show is Sunday in Shizuoka, Fuji-san Messe in Shizuoka. The opener here was super notable to me. So this is the one I just mentioned, Yuka Yamazaki, this is her second match now. She debuted the day before in Osaka. Here's her second match. She faces Ryoko Sakimura in the opener of the show. Ryoko's been working since December. If I didn't tell you which one of these two wrestlers was working her second match and which one has been wrestling for 5 months, you would think it's exactly reversed. Because Yuka Yamazaki looks completely fine. She looks like a wrestler who has it together. And Ryoko looks like an untrained woman off the street. She might be the worst wrestler in all of Japan at the moment. I mean, I cannot believe how bad she is. She can't do anything. Her offense is horrible. Her selling is horrible. She can't sell at all. She has this goofy smile on her face no matter what she does, even when she's supposed to be selling in pain. She can barely run the ropes. I mean, she is one of the worst wrestlers in the world probably right now. I mean, she's horrible. And they know it too, because guess what? In her second match, Yuka Yamazaki pinned Ryoko Sakimura clean as a sheet with the twist of fate she's using as her finisher. So
yeah, the Korakuen Hall match that I saw from her is public hazing.
We're gonna get to that in a second, but yeah, Ryoko, she's not taking this seriously at all or something. I mean, she looked so fucking bad. I mean, she is the rookie that has not developed at all. She has a look to her. She's 5'5", and she's kind of tall, but she's I don't know. She's like all these other Marigold wrestlers who were horrible at their debut, have developed in some way for the most part. But she is not developing at all. And I saw someone on the Discord say that they think she's going to retire at the end of the year, because it's she just there's not even any effort in her in-ring
she
appearances.
is even writing about it in her own columns that she has a ball, she doesn't know what to do, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, so she's the one who she can't find anything. So yeah, it's not
okay
working.
So breaking news. Marigold just tweeted that notice of absence to Natsumi Shozuki. Shozuki is injured and will be maintaining her injury, and Sakimura will be absent for a while due to a lack of spirit in her matches due to poor health.
Wait, what?
Sakimura is going to be missing.
I see. So Sakimura is going to be out.
Will also be absent for a while due to continued lackluster performances stemming from poor physical condition.
Oh, so she actually is leaving for at least a little while.
Yes, she's taking a break.
Okay, so that explains the pin even more, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's possibly not returning ever again.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, there you go. I mean, she looked really horrible, so I'm not really surprised. And Natsumi Shozuki, you said, is injured. I think she was one of the ones that announced for the
shoulder.
She got announced for the Dream Star, I think. Yeah, she
did.
did. So yeah, so they might have to replace her. I guess we'll see. Next match I watched from this show is Koki Almaray defeating Hummingbird in 824. This was perfectly fine, like 2 3/4 or 3 stars, something like that. I mean, the thing that annoys me the most about Koki, besides the fact that she's wasting this amazing look, is she still feels like she could be good someday to me. Like she has like some level of potential, but she just, I don't know, like everything she does just looks a little too awkward to be good. And, she just gets way too big boot happy, obviously. I also have no idea why she does like a Rainmaker spin before hitting a spine buster. Like the delay between the actual spin and then lifting the person up with the move, like what does that do? Like, the spin doesn't do anything.
She's a dancer.
It's like really weird. Definitely the other match I watched, one of the last 2 matches I watched was Sarah Yamaoka defeating Megaton in 5 minutes and 12 seconds. So Megaton switched, as you saw in the Korakuen, she switched from having the purple under her eyes, the like evil purple, to rainbows, which I thought was so fucking funny when she walked out with that. She didn't yet have the flowers in her costume, but she had a Korakuen though, so it came in stages, I guess. Yeah, what'd you say?
Happyton.
Happyton. There you go. She
should be her new name.
She did lose, but at least now she has Koki tending to her instead of the Darkness Revolution like stomping on her. So that is an improvement, I guess. The main event that I watched, I'd skip the semi-main, but the main event was Chan Yota, Mai Sakurai, and Maya Iwatani defeating Chika Goto, Miko Ano, and Utami Yashita in 14:54. What stood out for me in this match is like Go Chika. She's obviously not all there yet from an in-ring perspective. Especially, she still runs the ropes and like takes a corner and stuff like that really badly. Like she cannot run the ropes. She cannot run in the corner without like looking really awkward. But she's so expressive. Like her facial expressions are so good. And she just has a ton of in-ring charisma, which you cannot really teach, that you kind of want to root for her to get better. And I do think she's made some little strides in the last few months. I think she's gotten a teensy bit better, but she's at least like endearing when she's not very good, and she has obviously that 5'8" height, that really helps her stand out. But yeah, I mean, I feel like she's trying to improve more than some of the other Marigold people aren't very good. And you want to root for her, I mean, she makes you want to root for her. Chan Yota at one point almost took fucking Bayu's head off with a discus lariat. Like that was the big highlight of the match, honestly. Like she fucking killed her. Chan Yota's just kind of good. I don't know. I just kind of like her. Yeah. And Sakurai.
I am really happy that she's wrestling more and more because she should be wrestling more and more.
She was like modeling, right? Or something?
No, she was a porn star.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she was a porn star. But she's given up the porn, right? I think.
Yes, she's given up the porn, but she still has the porn company as the sponsor on her sleeve. So she has on one of her sleeves the logo of the company she works for.
Yeah, she's fucking jacked for a porn star, man.
That was her gimmick.
Yeah, the jacked porn star.
Yes, she was a cop. She was a policewoman, then she was a porn star, and now she's a pro wrestler.
What a
life! What a life! And one of her best friends is Mai Sakurai, who the lady gimmick is actually true to life because she has attended one of those elite exclusive Ojo-sama high schools and universities later than in Tokyo.
And
she is actually sheltered Ojo-sama. It's incredible.
How the fuck did she end up a pro wrestler, man?
I don't know. Don't ask actors.
How do you go from?
Don't ask me.
How do you go from Ojo-sama private high school to pro wrestling? Such a weird.
She was some pageant. She was working pageants, and I think someone else from Actress Girls was at the same pageant.
Oh yeah.
Beauty Queen, and she got talking to them, and she tried the job. Did some matches for Actress Girls, and then when Sakaguchi told them all that, I'm closing the company off from wrestling, we are no longer wrestling, we are just acting, and so she called Rossi and told him, oh, hey man, I want, because she's one of the few people that called him. She came to him and he took her in, and she was shit at the start, and now she's good. But one of her
she's
best
good.
friends is an ex-porn star. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, they have nothing in common. It's so fucking good.
the porn star and the lady.
Yes.
But yeah, so the lady got the pin here. She beat Shikagoto. This was the best match in the show. Like, if you're gonna go back and watch anything from the Shizuoka show, watch this 6-woman tag because it was a lot of fun. So definitely recommend that one. Now we get to the Korakuen, which just took place today. That is already available. That aired live, so it's available on Wrestle Universe. I feel like I should say that more often for people who don't know anything about Marigold. This promotion's on Wrestle Universe, if you don't know, so you can watch it pretty easily.
Yep.
They are at Korakuen Hall here. They drew 912. The one time they showed the oranges, they look so empty. Yeah, I think 912 might be exaggeration, as we see from Marigold sometimes.
The thing is, they always sell really well the bleachers. I don't understand how they are doing it, but they always sell them out, and that's like 700 tickets.
Yeah,
the bleachers are like 700 tickets.
Maybe there's another 200 then.
It's between 500 and 700 tickets according to setup. It's, I think, maybe like 600 or something like that. And it's possible that the oranges were 300 seats tickets.
Yeah, the one time they showed it looked really empty though.
Yeah.
So maybe it was more like 800. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, so it's going by their announced numbers, it was down from the 1,210 they claimed on May 4th for Mayu's debut show, but it's still quite a bit higher than the 680 they claimed on April 25th.
Yeah.
That one was headlined by the 10-woman Marvelous versus Marigold Gauntlet match. Yeah. So, a little sad to see them back and announcing a triple-digit number, but hopefully they can build some momentum at some point here. The opener, which obviously this is where you can start talking. You did see the show, and I watched the entire show. The opener was Hummingbird and Ryoko Sakimura defeating Nagase Tachibana and Natsumi Shozuki in 7:33. This was Shozuki's first match since the elimination match against Marvelous at Yoyogi on May 24th. Obviously, we know now she's right back on the injured list, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, you mentioned this. This was like the fucking hazing for Sakimura.
Yes,
because it was mostly the early part of the match. The whole early part of the match was Shozuki and Tachibana beating the shit out of Ryoko Sakimura, and unfortunately, like I said, Sakimura can't even sell. So even her getting her ass kicked wasn't very interesting or anything. But yeah, they were beating on this girl, like basically telling her, fucking get it together or get the fuck out, I think was the message.
Yes, it was. It was like as obvious. We will beat your ass publicly, and you will have to do something about it if you don't get the fuck out of here, as I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing that is being done in pro wrestling everywhere because it's pro wrestling, and will be done in pro wrestling forever onwards because it's pro wrestling. But this is, if you know what to look for, this is as obvious as it gets, because it's actually a storyline beat as well. So I'm not like making this up. This was like Shozuki trying to get something out of her, shouting at her, give me something, do something about this, what I'm doing to you. And Sakimura not doing anything about it because she's done. As I said, I would not be surprised if she's never coming back.
It wouldn't surprise me either. But she was on the winning team in her last match, if that's the case.
The big issue is that she's kind of boss of the other two models, so...
Hummingbird came in and, she ended up quickly pinning Tachibana after a cradle reversal. 1 star. This was pretty fucking bad. Not very good at all, besides, because like I said, Shozuki can't even sell a beating. So, match 2 was Victoria Yuzuki and Kizuna Tanaka defeating Komomo Minami and Rhea Seto in 11:05. The Salim Flora, as her name is, or Salim?
Yes.
I don't know. They picked up the win with Tanaka pinning Komomo with the Redream. What were we gonna say? Sorry.
It's like a moonflowers or something like that.
That makes sense. But yeah, this is a perfectly fine little undercard tag, 3-star stuff. Victoria Yuzuki was I thought the standout. She pretty much always is. I mean, she's a very good young wrestler. I mean, She's one of the highlights of this promotion. So
I have weird favorites and weird hates. I'm very down on Kizuna and Yuzuki, and I will forever be very down on Kizuna and Yuzuki. Anytime I watch Kizuna, I read before that multiple posts saying how good she is now, and I watch her and I'm like, oh, she's as bad as she was before. At least this is
Kizuna or Yuzuki?
Kizuna.
Well, I don't think Kizuna is that good either. I mean, she's fine.
This is the best match she has ever done because she has not fucked anything up in the match.
Yeah.
Because she so often, you know how some wrestlers don't know where they are in the ring? The thing where they have to do more steps to do a spot or turn around to do a spot, she does that. She often gets lost in the matches when like something quicker with more people is involved, and she should not be doing that anymore because she's a 3 years veteran now. This is not like someone who started in December. She started 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. So and also her parents are pro wrestlers. She should be better. Like, compare her to Shino. It's like incomparable.
No, I get it.
Yeah. And I'm down on Izuki because she has beaten Hanako in the Rookie of the Year tournament, so I will forever be her hater. There's nothing else there. There's no objective basis in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Victoria Yuzuki. I think she's really good. So I can't really.
Yes, I think she's a good pro wrestler, but I will not like her.
Okay. I will be honest. I have. I don't know. There's something always about the blonde hair Japanese wrestlers that I'm always, male or female, that always get my attention. So I always like the blondes. The next match. Is it interesting too, by the way, how blonde hair in men's wrestling always meant heel?
Yes.
It doesn't really. I guess it doesn't really in men's wrestling anymore either. Because now
it did in the past, not anymore.
Yeah, in female in joshi it hasn't in forever. I feel like I'm trying to think of who was the last blonde haired heel.
Some Ozaki mutations.
Yeah, it's been like decades, right?
I think V-Fix, Double Fix, Kaoru and Ozaki went blonde.
Yeah. But like going blonde is not a heel move by itself, I guess is what I'm saying.
No,
obviously Victoria. Yeah, Victoria's not a heel, obviously. Yeah.
I think like it's going to be 20 years from that.
Yeah. But then we had a tag team match with Chiaki. Well, a lot of tag team matches on the show, but Chiaki and Misa Matsui from Dark Side Evolution beating Koki Amare and Megaton in 7:54. Megaton had a bunch of flowers on her jump shoot now. But she did not help her. She still got pinned by Misa with the diving double foot stomp. This wasn't very good because Megaton sucks and Koki's not very good either. Teaming them up together is certainly a fucking choice on Rossi's part. So some real terrorism booking there. But yeah, 2 stars. Not very good match.
Yeah, it's Misa Matsui being wasted in this promotion.
Because she is really good.
Yes, she has been really good for last, I don't know.
And I like Chiaki too. I like Chiaki too, actually, but
I don't.
You don't like her? I kind of like her whole
it's
like tomboy charisma.
It's weird because like I have always considered her a good mid-carder who has a chance to get good in Actress Girls before she went to Marigold. But she was always like in the second tier of the people who can actually try to get into main events. Because she never like did more than she did in any other matches. But partly I thought it was because of the inconsistent booking and weird storytelling that Actress Girls do. But since she moved to Marigold, I learned that it's not just the booking and the storytelling, it's also her. And similar to Koki. It's not just the promotion, it's also the wrestler.
The next match was Mirai and Yuka Yamazaki losing to Go Chika and Minami Yuki in 12:35. Go Chika pinned Yuka with a choke slam. This was up to this point. This was the best match on the show by far.
Yep.
This was a fun little match here with the Gochiki Minami team. It's a good team because Minami Yuki is like solid in ring, so she could like help cover for Gochika's deficiencies there, and they just have good chemistry together. So it's a fun team. The opposite of the Megaton and Koki team, where I'm like, why are you putting together two people who suck? Here you're putting together someone who's good in ring and someone who maybe has some room to grow there in ring. And, Yuki can work more the match and really cover for Gochika. So, yeah, I thought it was good. The 3.25-star match, pretty fun. And again, Yuka Yamazaki off to a great start in her career. So,
yeah, this is the first time that I saw Yuka, and I'm really surprised how good she is so quickly.
Yeah.
It's almost the way she was so good so quickly spawned the rumor that she was a trainee from different promotion and Marigold poached her, which she dispelled. She's just good by herself. And I will forever cheer for Gochika because I assume she will not be doing wrestling more than 3 matches when she started, and she's still at it. And the only thing that I have is that I forgot to go to the Okinawan pub her parents run in Tokyo, where she is also a waitress.
Oh well, you
on her off time.
That place. Yeah. See if I can see Gochika.
Yeah, it's a place where like wrestlers go as well. The comedian wrestlers, the fake wrestlers, fake Inoki and the crew.
Then we had Miku Ano defeating Arina Yamanaka in 10-13. Ano won this with the Styles Clash. So it started a little rough with Arina on offense early, because she's still kind of green, I think. But
no, it's not that she's green; it's that she doesn't have enough reps and it's very basic.
Isn't that green? I don't understand what's the difference.
Okay. She has been wrestling. Yeah, she has been wrestling for like 6 years or 7 years.
Yeah, but doesn't she only wrestle like part-time?
Yeah, very, very part-time.
Part-time. So that's why I mean she's still great.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But like the way she did the splits and stuff is cool though. So that's like the unique stuff she can do as a yoga instructor and all that stuff she does. But Miku was so good that she got the match on track. They had a damn good little match here by the end. So I would say like 3.25. Because Miku Ano is really, really good. So
yes,
she was able to cover for Arina here.
I opened Arina Yamanaka's cage match and has 49 matches in 6 years.
Well, there you go.
also, she is almost 40 now. So
yeah.
And is the mother of at least one child.
Well, it makes sense she can't be full-time then, I guess.
But... Yeah.
The semi-main event, the Twin Star titles, the Marigold Twin Star titles. Magenta, the team from Marvelous, Maria and Riko Kawahata. They make their first defense, beating Mai Sakurai and Chan Yoda. Again, the lady and the porn star. That should be their name. 14:53.
Their name is not.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it the name that almost was like fucking or something?
No, it's something about Ultimate Life Form or something like that.
Wasn't the original name like almost like a fucking... I can't remember. Wasn't the original name controversial or something? They had to change it?
No, it's NUT.
Oh, it's not.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, there you go.
It's a weird name.
But yeah, this didn't seem to have much heat early, especially for an interpromotional title match. I was surprised by that a little. I mean, crowd was on the smaller side there, like you said, but they did start to get into it more later. So
the issue is that Marvel's crowd will boo Marvel's heel in Marvel's, but will not boo Marvel's heels in Marigold. So
yeah,
it kind of doesn't work, and maybe you should not turn your face's heel while you are in interpromotional feud. But what do I know? Chigusa does herself. I don't know. Maybe don't do that. It breaks the storytelling.
Kawahata pinned Sakurai with a moonsault off the top. And that was like just when the crowd was getting really into it and like chanting for Sakurai. So it kind of ended in an awkward spot where I thought the match really could have built even more from there. But it was still a good match. I went like 3.5. And it sets up I'm sure, a United national title shot for Kawahata now.
Yeah,
Sakurai's United.
They said that they wanted to do that. Yeah.
Oh, and before the main event, we got the Dreamstar GP entrance. So it's really no one you wouldn't expect. Just read the names real quick. This is obviously they're like 5-star. It's Utami, Mayu, Mai, Mirai, Miguano, Koki, Yuzuki, Seri Yamaoka, Natsumi Shozuki, Gochika, Kizuna Tanaka, Nagisa, Misa Matsui, Chiaki, and Chan Yoda. I'm happy to see Chan Yoda in there, honestly. That's maybe the biggest surprise one. But that's 15 names. That's obviously an odd number. So at this point, it was like, and we find out why later on after the main event. But yeah, so the tour starts August 2nd in Osaka. There's 2 Korakuen dates, August 30th, and the finals in Korakuen on September 14th. So there's your Dreamstar Grand Prix this year. Any surprises in there for you that included?
No, Chan Yoda was the biggest surprise, and I kind of half expected Mio Momono to come out and ask for the last slot, because I assumed there was going to be some marvelous people in the GP, and Takumi Iroha made no sense for that slot because she doesn't need to lose, and you don't need her, and you should not use her like that. So I assumed that Mio Momono coming back would use the GP as her like comeback, but I assume the gauntlet is going to be won by Senka Akatsuki
we'll get
from
to that.
Marvelous.
Yeah, which I hope to God it is. So the main event, the 6-woman tag, Marigold versus Marvelous. Maya Iwatani, Seri Yamaoka, and Utami Yashita defeated Takumi Iroha, Sora Ayami, and Senka Atsuki. Oh my God, Senka in this match. Senka worked the vast majority of this match. This woman, I cannot stress this enough. Again, we're talking about Joshi Super Rookies. She wrestles for a low-level Joshi promotion in the grand scheme of things, but with a great trainer, obviously. She's only been at this since October, and she is already better than male and female wrestlers alike who have been doing this for years. She is so fucking good that I feel like a fucking idiot for not putting her on my 30 under 30. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking when I made that list and didn't put her on it.
It's fine. She's just 19. You will have 11 more.
I have a long time.
Yeah.
She's so good. She does this mat wrestling sequence with Seri at the start, which, by the way,
that was fucking awesome.
Oh, my God. Seri is also great, by the way. Which I don't know if, like, I feel like people accuse her of being overhyped or something, but every time I see her in the ring, she's great. I don't know what the fuck people are talking about.
The grappling sequence at the start was like, I was like, so who's better? Someone who's actually trained for this, or someone who's been trained by Takumi Iroha and Mio Momono in the Marvelous dungeon where they beat people up if they fuck things up. So it was like 50-50 because Senka has the size on her side, and it was like, oh, Seri is unable to defeat the Senka gigantic thighs, which is it's her own tag team partners. Like, her thighs are getting bigger every time I see her. It's like she's like doing like 400 squats every day or something like that. She's insane.
She is crazy.
But Seri is actually a good shooter, so
she's an amateur. She was like an actual amateur wrestler,
and
right?
she was winning stuff, so she's like a medalist or something like that. She's not like some loser.
Yeah.
So the star was fucking awesome, and I loved it. And basically everything afterwards was really good.
Yeah. So Takumi tags in. She just fucking wrecks Seri. I mean, fucking kills her. So that was great. Ayami pulls off Mayu's tail. So Mayu kicks her fucking ass for that. And then Senka and Utami start going at it, and Senka fucking bowls over Utami of all people with a shoulder block, and then she body slams her, and they trade these really hard forearms to the chest, and this is just so great. Then Mayu comes in. She runs wild at first, but then she goes for a drop kick to Senka when she's seated, and Senka just fucking swats the drop kick away and puts Mayu straight into a rear naked choke.
Fucking Mayu Iwatani.
Yeah, it looked even cool. Like, I honestly, I swear, it's hard to describe how cool that looked. The way she just swatted her out of midair and just grabbed her into the choke. And like you said, it's fucking Mayu Iwatani. So that was so fucking cool.
It's it's Mayu Iwatani's signature spot, the Bakataru kick, but she was Senka Akatsuki, 19 years old, 30 matches in, was allowed to counter Bakataru kick into rear naked choke and look so cool doing that. That's something that someone knows what they have in this woman, and this woman is going to be pushed to the fucking moon.
They ends up with all three Stardom wrestlers locked into holds at once, and then Mayu does make it to the ropes. Later on, Senka damn near fucking decapitates Utami with an axe bomber. That was like right before the 15-minute call. That was fucking crazy, that axe bomber. But yeah, Senka worked almost the whole match, it felt like, for her team.
Yes.
And then, but Utami finally put her right at the BT bomb. I went 4 stars on this. This was awesome. This is the only thing on the show I would say would be like must see, but really, you can't go wrong with like if you want to start with like with Chika Goto and Minami Yuki and watch all the last 4 matches, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
That would really be my recommendation.
The tag titles are the main event. I think are the things to watch.
Yeah. But this was pretty good show by the end. You know, I mean, you know, some of the opening stuff was a little tough, but like the last 4 matches I really enjoyed. So
what I want to add to this match is that there's this bit between Utami, Mayu, and Takumi, where Utami wants Takumi to challenge for her title for the red belt, but Takumi says no, it's not time yet. I have something else to do. Then she goes wins the GHC title. Now Utami is okay. So I have beaten your shitty apprentice. You will have to challenge me for the title. And now they are planning to doing it as a double title match. But Takumi says that she has to defend the GHC on the Monday Magic, and she doesn't know what's going to happen there because it's Magic. So there's that. And they did the trolling bit where Utami wanted to wrestle Takumi in the match, but Takumi did not want to touch her, so she they did some dodging stuff, and then Takumi tagged out and laughed at Utami. Then Utami had to contend with Senka the whole time, and Takumi did use Utami's finishing move on Mayu Iwatani, hit the finishing move in front of Utami. Utami had to run in to break the pin, and then Mayu Iwatani and Sari held down at the finishing sequence, held down Takumi, and Utami did the finishing move to Senka, beat her up while Takumi had to watch. So they they are doing the build towards the title matches. But at the same time, Mayu Iwatani also wants the GAC title from Takumi. So it's possible that Mayu Iwatani beats Takumi for the GAC title at the Monday Magic, and then Takumi faces Utami for the red belt at the Korakuen, upcoming Korakuen.
Yeah. So that would be really cool, obviously. So
yeah,
I guess we'll have to say. But yeah, good show. And this is a promotion I'm enjoying watching. So I mean, I'm gonna keep watching them. Definitely gonna add to the rotation. I'm sure we're gonna talk about them more on upcoming episodes. Let me see what they have on the schedule coming up. Not a lot of big shows. They're in Yamagata this weekend and Fukushima. Week after that, they're in Saitama, or 2 weeks in a row they're in Saitama, it looks like. But yeah, they don't get back to Tokyo until Saturday, July 12th at Shinkiba, and then Tuesday, July 16th at Korakuen. So not a ton coming up for them in the next few weeks. But yeah, they'll be back in at least Shinkiba. We'll be back for that. July 12th.
The Korakuen Hall show is the last Korakuen before the GP starts.
Yeah.
So it should be like finishing the stories and starting new stories for the GP. The Mai Sakurai versus Riko Kawahata for the white belt is already locked in, and there's tentative plans for the red belt and GAC title match between Takumi and Utami.
Did we say, by the way? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, did we talk about the gauntlet?
No, we did not talk about it.
Okay, so at the end of the main event, Senka said she wants to join the Dreamstar GP. And I was like, oh my God, Senka, the GP! I was like so excited. But then all the Marigold rookies got really mad. Rei Seto was crying. And apparently it's going to be a gauntlet match now for the 16th spot. So look, again, I have nothing against Rei Seto. I think she's improved a lot. There's some other Marigold wrestlers that are perfectly fine. But please let Senka be in this fucking thing.
They will, because as I said, they need the marvelous person there. And Senka wants, and if you are Chigusa, you want Senka there just for the experience, because Marvelous doesn't run too often. So you want her to wrestle as much as possible. Basically, Marvelous runs what? 3 times a month? 2 times a month? So it's 2 or 3 times a month. In the GP, she will have what? Like 7 matches in space of month and a half, twice as many as usual. So, and of course she'll still have the Marvel stuff. So it's like great development for her.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I just hope to God she gets in, like I said.
Yeah.
All right. So we managed to go under 4 hours, I guess. So. That was fun.
God.
the people who like listen to these episodes, so these super long episodes every week now, are the real MVPs, I guess. But I'm sorry, by the way, the people listening that got so angry during the Dominion review. It's just like, I want this stuff to be good. Like, Japanese wrestling is what I love.
I'd almost recommend to you to put out the timestamps. I mean, right up, I got very angry about New Japan. Here are timestamps if you want to skip the New Japan stuff.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, people are going to hear me get mad. They're going to hear me get mad. There's probably some people who want to hear the meltdown, honestly.
Yeah,
probably. Like the fucking the AW fans, like, hey, see, look, now that we've taken every single wrestler from the roster, then sucks then. Isn't that funny? But yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's fine. It's like, look, I don't scream and yell every week, but that show deserves some screaming and yelling, because that show was really awful. So, but yeah, I mean, I want this stuff to be good. Like I said, Japanese wrestling is what I watch. It's what I've loved for 23 years. I do not like American wrestling. I do not watch lucha. This is what Japanese wrestling is what I watch. It's what I want to be good. When it's that bad, I'm gonna. And when wrestlers that I love are being wasted, I'm gonna react. I feel like this was actually a discussion that came up in the on the Voice Wrestling Discord earlier. Like some people are very down on Japanese wrestling this year, and in general, and I honestly think it's just because they don't watch Joshi. Because I think if you don't if it wasn't for Joshi, I'm sure I would feel way more down too. Because I think it's been okay. It's just the booking has been good, but the roster isn't really there. Like they don't have great match quality. All Japan has a very thin roster, and they're very boring. They do a lot of comedy. They have the occasional great match, but it's really not that much. I should recommended the July or the June 15th Kyoto KBS Hall show has a all Asia tag title match, Rising Hayato and Yuma Anzai against the Aoyagi brothers. That match was 4 1/4. That match was better than everything on Dominion. So tune in for that match. I mean, that match was awesome. The rest of the show, I'll believe that
because Dominion was nah.
But yeah, so go check out that match if you haven't, just for people listening. But yeah, but All Japan's very thin, and really that All Asia tag title run is carrying them from a work rate standpoint, and now it's over. Dragon Gate is I've had a hard time getting into it. I mean, I've been watching a little more lately, honestly. I watched a couple of their shows and enjoyed some of them, but like what really kills me for Dragon Gate? It's like the production is not very good now. Like, it looks so low rent compared to the other pre-roll promotions. It's just kind of jarring to go back to. Like, the camera looks weird. It doesn't. The video quality looks pretty bad, and the audio quality, like one of those 2 Korakuens had like a really loud ring for some reason. Like, it felt like I was watching a badly mic'd indie show where the ring was like, or New Japan Strong show, because they've done this too, and their shows in America where like the ring sounded really loud, like really really loud. Like, it sounded so loud I thought I was gonna blow out my speakers, honestly. But yeah, the other shows weren't at like that. It was just that one show. But yeah, so that holds back Dragon Gate for me a little bit. And I do find some of their younger wrestlers to be a little more overrated. But yeah, Ishin, and I do love Ishin. I love Madoka Kikuta. So maybe I'll watch more Dragon Gate for that.
I need to find someone who would be willing to like give me their account to Dragon Gate Network and give me a curated list of Asian matches since he got fat. And I will watch his whole career since he got fat because I have really enjoyed him as a fat wrestler. I like fat wrestlers.
Yeah, he's been great. But yeah, so Dragon Gate's been okay. DDT's been fun since I started watching them again. I mean, that might end up being my favorite male promotion for a little while here because they've, they had that awesome King of DDT final. I watched that. I watched the Hirata and Toru Owashi have like a really, really funny comedy match for like Owashi's end of his full-time career. Apparently,
yeah, I have not watched that yet. I need to watch the. Is that? That's from the Owashi's production or not?
No. It's from DDT's Shinagawa show. So
I have not seen that. Yeah,
it was really fucking funny. Where like Hirata did like all these different gimmicks. It was just really, really funny. But yeah, so DDT I'm enjoying. But yeah, like the Joshi is really carrying my year between Stardom being great, Marigold I think is picking up. Sendai Girls has had some really cool moments this year. Even Tokyo Joshi I've been watching a little more again. And, it's still kind of I have to be in a certain mood for it, but I don't know. It's just it's I feel like if you're not a Joshi fan, I see being more down Japanese wrestling. If you are a Joshi fan, I think everything's kind of pretty good, honestly. I mean, Marigold was not good before the last couple months. So if we have a real number 2 to go with Stardom, like now that the Marigold wrestlers are improving and Mayu is there, that's a good development.
That would be great development. I would like to recommend Actress Girls, but they are so shaky. It's so fucking weird because it's like they can have a great show and then they do a show in Itabashi Square, which, by the way, I have learned to hate that venue because it's the worst venue in the fucking world. No, one of the worst venues in the world because it's like the crowds there do not react as the crowds in Shinkiba, for example. They're very quiet. Even for Actress Girls in Shinkiba, there are some people who cheer. In Itabashi, there's nobody, so it's extremely bad. And for some ungodly reason, they book long matches in the main events, which is really bad for Actress Girls. But they are running an tag team tournament right now, which has been really good, really successful for me, because the results all make sense for people who are supposed to be winning. And also, weirdly, some of the wrestlers that have been delivering bad matches their whole career randomly got like good performances. So there are like 3 or 4 wrestlers that are bad and will never be good, and they got good matches for like last 2 shows or something like that. So I would like to recommend that, but you will put it on and they will again deliver really bad matches. I can see that. So I cannot really recommend Actress Girls. I can recommend the August Korakuen Hall show that's going to happen in August. That's probably going to be really good because those are really good. Korakuens for Actress Girls. But they have like free a year, so it's not like something regular or something like that.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. Watch Joshi, I guess, is the overall message.
Yeah.
But there you go. I guess we can wrap things up. Do you want to plug your Actress Girls podcast?
Okay, so we have just if you go on YouTube and search Actress Stage, you will find us. That's us. We talk every month about actors. At the start of June, we are monthly. At the start of June, we will have Rage Set Jabroni on the show. He was in Japan for the Saori Boy anniversary show, and he's the most knowledgeable person for this whole weird corner of Joshi, the most important Joshi company in the world, probably, because they produce so much talent for everyone else to use.
Yeah.
And then
without them, there'd be no point on them. So
yeah, and then their owner doesn't realize that it's been 10 years since he started the company. And then Ben Sauri and Boy ask him to be able to use first his footage, then his wrestlers on their anniversary show. He says yes. and then then does like free match special, which he calls anniversary special, which is not an anniversary special because he already had booked Shinkiba for his theater gig that he had there. He is such a bad owner. He's so bad. He didn't even know that his company was having a 10th anniversary. And some other company was running his own 10th anniversary show. It's so fucking bonkers.
Wow.
But that's how good the company has been, because that's like part of the alumni were at the show. But the other side of the alumni, which is, for example, Riko Kawahata, Miku Aono, Natsume Shozuki. She's not really. She's Stardom alumni, whatever. Misa Matsui, Koki Chiaki, Hummingbird, Naoya Mada, who's injured. They're in Marigold, so they were unable to be at the show for Saori Boy, but they would have been there if they were not in Marigold. So, and there were also other people who were like who have already finished in Joshi and are never coming back. So the company has produced the most talent probably of all the Joshi companies in the last 10 years. Not probably, they did. Yeah, that's like a fact. They restarted the company. They had 8 veterans, and on the Korakuen Hall show, half a year later, they had like 25 wrestlers. It's insane. They're an insane company.
Yeah. So there you go. Everybody check out. I hope I can see them. I hope there's a way to see them. And besides, because obviously I'm not picking them over the fucking Stardom Super Bowl show.
You'd have to be lucky for them to run, not opposite to anything else, their first show of the year.
So. Yeah, I'll have to say. All right, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter at WrestleOmakase. Wrestling, of course, wouldn't fit. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Just1MB. So we're taking a week off next week. So I didn't originally plan on the show being weekly again. So we just ended up doing shows 3 weeks in a row. So next week we're taking off, but we'll be back with a mid-year awards episode for our next episode. So bringing back an old Omakase staple I used to do every year, where we pick the mid-year award winners halfway through the year. So the end of June, I'll be recording that. I already have 2 guests confirmed, both returning guests. So Paul Volsch will be back on, and Aru Mehta, I can never remember how to pronounce that. He'll be back on. He'll be on a couple weeks ago. So they'll be back on to pick their winners, and we'll see if I get anybody else. Might get.
I am available.
Oh, okay. Well, folks, you've heard it here first. Apparently, Velkej Braca is available to come back on for the mid-year awards. So there you go. But yeah, we'll definitely be back with that. And then, like I said, I want to do my Japan travel episode, although we kind of did the mini version at the start of this episode anyway.
Yeah, we did.
We'll see. But yes, thank you as always for listening, and we will see you next time.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.